Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. This is a story about what if Naruto joined Akatsuki. This is a first part of the story. If you enjoy this and want to see part 2, comment down below and let me know. Before I start, please do support and leave a like, and don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also share with your friends and check out other videos on my channel. Let's begin this alternative reality. The newest member, Confession. Naruto Uzumaki felt great. He had not walked this path for 3 whole years. The nostalgia made him excited to see his friends and teachers. He wondered how much they had changed. He himself grew a lot taller and most of all, stronger. His training with Jiraiya was a success and Naruto felt emotionally strong as well. He felt ready to find and take on Sasuke and win. Ooh, I can't wait to get back to my research, hehehe. Cooed the pervy sage and legendary Sannin, Jiraiya the gallant. Seriously, all you have done these years is perv. We barely got any training done with those cruddy old man pervert books that only Kakashi-sensei reads. I didn't see you complaining when we were at bathhouses. You started joining in, ha ha ha. Jiraiya's laugh was contagious and Naruto joined in too. The gates of Konoha were up ahead. The large archway and wooden reinforced doors brought back memories. How often had Naruto himself left those gates of missions and training? He certainly remembers using it to run from angry villagers who chased him because of the 9-tailed fox sealed within him. I hope the villagers have changed, the one group of people I can never please. They passed through the gate and met up with the 2 gate guards, Kotetsu and Izumo. Izumo was wresting a jar of syrup from Kotetsu's hands when they both looked up in utter surprise. Kotetsu dropped the syrup and grabbed for his clipboard. Naruto. Jiraiya. You are back, haha. Great to see you too, it's been so long. Let me just write your name up. They passed through the gate and smiled at the 2 guards passing by. Jiraiya slipped them a smutty-looking book and they traded it with him for a bottle of sake, which Jiraiya smiled and drank happily. When Jiraiya was happy, sake was the only thing to calm him down. Naruto saw Jiraiya's excitement to be back in his old village again. Or maybe he was excited to see Tsunade. Well, while you go get bashed by Granny Tsunade, I'm going to go check into my house and meet up with people. I'll be at the Hokage's office tonight, okay? What the do you mean, get bashed? I bet she will weaken to her knees at the sight of me. I'm here to claim my reward, hehehehe. Naruto left his giggling sensei with a sigh and made his way towards his old apartment. But first, to further add to the nostalgia, Naruto climbed atop the nearest water tower and took in the view of his home. He felt pride and happiness consume him. He also felt nervous about meeting Sakura again. Had she changed? Had he changed? Woohoo! This place is just like it used to be, and one day I'll be its Hokage. Believe it. I gotta stop saying that. Naruto. Came a soft voice below. Naruto's heart tightened as he spotted the pink-haired beauty known only as Sakura Haruno, best friend and fellow member of Team Kakashi. She was taller and well-developed into a woman. Naruto held back a nosebleed. She looked even more attractive. 3 years does a lot to a person, it seems. Sakura. Naruto yelled, leaping off the pole. He hit the ground and embraced her, making them both blush. Oh my, look how tall you are. You have grown a lot in the last 3 years. She blushed a little at Naruto's appearance. He had grown a lot more attractive as well since he was that little scrawny loudmouth. She checked him out head to toe and felt warmth grow inside her. She played with a curl of her hair and looked distracted at him while he babbled on about his training and adventures while he was gone. He has really grown into a man. Single quote. Sakura. Hello Sakura. Oh, I'm sorry. Sue. Have I changed at all since we last met? She smiled bright. Nope. You're pretty much the same as usual. Quote. Baka. She threw a punch that connected with his jaw. He flew 10 feet back and hit into a fence. He slid down it like a frog against a windscreen. He felt his world grow blurry and the nostalgia returned. How many times had he been ruthlessly beaten by her? He brushed the dust off him and laughed, thinking to himself. Ah, just like old times, except now she is 1,000 times stronger. I'm so screwed. Ha 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 ha, I was only kidding Sakura. You really have changed. You are a lot stronger, smarter, taller and beautiful. He did not expect him to come out and say it, but she was pleased he had. Sakura blushes heavily and smiled. Oh, ha ha ha, sorry. Thank you. Naruto. You look better yourself. She poked her fingers together in distraction. Well, I have an idea. You and me should catch up over some ramen tonight. But first I gotta go see Tsunade. Oh, I'll come too, if that's okay with you. Naruto smiled to himself, nothing would have made him happier. Tsunade sat at her desk by the window and poured 3 cups of sake, 1 for Jiraiya and 2 for herself. When she was around her dear old friend she became nervous and a bit excited. She felt the old days rushing back to meet her, the days she spent with Jiraiya and Orochimaru, before one became a rebel criminal and the other became an old sleazy perv. Well, good to see neither of us has changed over the last 3 years. I guess that's reserved for the younger ninja, huh? But I must say, your look like they are 120 cms, not the usual 106 centimeters. Hehehehe, maybe they are happy to say. Baka. Tsunade punched Jiraiya hard in the jaw, sending him hard against the wall. He slid down it like a toad on a windscreen. But he laughed like usual and Tsunade grinned lightly. The nostalgia was certainly thick in the air. She blushed as the sake began to kick in. She knew that one day they would get together. She could not wait until that day. If it ever came. Are you old farts done yet? I've waited 3 years. I don't wanna wait another 3 years, ya know. Naruto. Good to see a familiar baka like yourself. How was training? Good. I'm alive, right? He. Glad to hear it, Naruto. Missions will resume in about 2 weeks. We are pretty cleared up on missions, so that's why. Don't argue, just deal with it. Naruto clenched his fist and let out a sigh. He could use the time to settle in and catch up with everyone, so he was okay with the decision. He smiled and pulled a thumbs up. Whatever you say. Well, I better go get settled in. I've got plans tonight. He turned to Sakura and smiled. She blushed yet again. We sure do. 5 hours later. Sakura stared into the mirror, her hair recently washed, dried and combed to perfection. She took great pride in her preparation for her plans with Naruto tonight. She wondered what he was going to wear and if he would bother to even wash up for their night. Is it a date, or just dinner? I wouldn't mind either. She heard a knock sound at the door and turned to slip on her shoes. Coming. She opened the door and was shocked at Naruto's appearance. Naruto wore slim black pants which molded around his strong left muscles and a white long-sleeved collared shirt with 2 buttons popped open to further increase his already attractive looks. He held flowers in one hand and a winning grin to top it all off. Sakura felt her warmth increase highly at the romantic surprise. I guess it is a date. Oh Naruto. I did not expect you here so soon. I'm not quite ready yet, please come inside. She gestured for him to enter and he slipped off his shoes and accepted the offer. Gee Sakura, this place is amazing. I really love the decoration. You got going, ya know. Sakura bought her own apartment since they last met with her mission income. Oh, thank you, Naruto. I'll be right back, mister. Take a seat. Sakura turned and went back to the bathroom to finish her hourly preparation. She slowly closed the door. Once it shut, she let out a huge exhale of nervous excitement. She had never felt so hot and happy to see Naruto before. She felt glad he was back and possibly now she would not have to be alone in the village. While Naruto was gone, Choji and Ino became a couple, as well as Temari and Shikamaru. Also Neji and Tenten recently started going out. She did not want to feel left out this time. If only Sasuke were well in the village. No, he is gone, that's all. Sakura, you okay in there? Oh yes, I'm fine, ha ha ha. I'm great. Where do you want to go for dinner anyway? Oh, how about good ol Ichiraku then? Sounds good, ya know. Ha ha ha. Sakura opened the door and stood as a complete woman, all her clothing, hair and makeup applied and perfected. Naruto pretended to cough to secretly wipe away the miniature nosebleed that formed on her entrance. He couldn't help it any longer. He let out an impressed whistle and she curtsied with a giggle and a deep blush. Her and I have never been this close. I love it. You ready to go, Naruto? Yes. Her beauty had yet again caught him off guard. They both sat and ate at Ichiraku Ramen and talked for hours about how they have been, what's been going on both inside and outside of Konoha's walls and the various missions completed and failed over the years. Naruto told Sakura all about his travels and training he underwent with Jiraiya and the odd toad summoned here and there. He mainly talked about what he missed about Konoha and who he missed most, which was obviously Sakura. The bill came and was paid off in a heartbeat by Naruto, who pulled a huge bloated frog purse stacked with cash. Sakura fantasized about all the dresses she could buy with that money while Naruto fantasized about all the ramen he will buy with it. They grabbed their things and EAD out the flap into the cool night. Dinner was amazing, Naruto. Thank you so much, she blushed. Yeah, Ichiraku has not changed a bit. But I know a few people who have. Hey, how about we take a walk through the park next to the river? I used to go there to clear my thoughts. Sounds like a lovely idea. Her heart began to pound harder and faster at each of his compliments. She felt drawn into his charm. They walked along the still waters and listened to the songs and chirps of Konoha's Aburame pets. A light gust of wind chilled Sakura's soft, pale skin and she shivered. Without saying a word, Naruto removed his jacket he had brought and placed it over her shoulders. She felt goosebumps raise as she slipped on Naruto's much beloved jacket. He always wears this, and he gives it to me freely. Wow. Hey, I've got an idea. You ever been dancing? Hee hee. She gawked at him. Dancing? You dance? No way. Naruto grinned and nodded. Yup. I learned on my adventures with Jiraiya. We both had a bit of sake and bomb. I'm a ballroom dancer, haha. Well, I don't know, where would we? Right here on the water. He took a step onto the water and powered his chakra to keep him above the surface. Sakura followed suit. I don't know, Naruto. It's fine, let me guide you through it. He took her hand and guided her onto the water's surface. She pushed up against him and they giggled. They swayed to music that never played in reality, but only in their minds. She folded her fingers round his and he twirled her and pulled her back into him, forming the main steps of the formal dance. Their eyes met and fireworks seemed to ignite between the two. He saw the same beauty he had seen for years. She, however, saw the handsome charms of Naruto for the first time. She was enthralled in it. She twirled again and laughed as Naruto lost his control and fell waist deep in the river. Sakura howled with laughter. He smiled and pulled her into the water, which made her eep in surprise. He was worried he ruined her makeup and hair, but she came to the surface laughing and smiling brightly. The two dragged themselves to the shore and lay wet on the grass side by side. Sakura. Tonight was amazing. You are amazing. Thank you. Never mind. He lost his words and dismissed the thought. No, please. Tell me. He turned on his side and stared close into Sakura's eye. I like you a lot. More than friends. I always have. She blushed heavily and smiled. I like you too. I've never seen this side of you, Naruto, never. I want to be with you, Sakura. Nothing would make me happier. Not even the title of Hokage. She pulled him in closer and got into the blue sapphires of his eyes and bit her lip. I want you too. She pulled him in and their lips met. The fireworks intensified as their lips molded together and parted as one being, their nervous tongues moving in to meet each other and explore the newfound territory of each other's hearts. She breathed hard and gripped his hair, pulling him in closer. He kissed down her lips to her cheek to the tender skin of her neck. She breathed through a relaxed grin of longing and pleasure. She kissed his cheek and sniffed in the welcoming scent of his hair. She climbed atop him, their wet clothes drying on each other. She lay on him, lips locked and refusing to part. They spent a good 5 minutes making out beneath the stars and truly sharing the passion of youth. He parted from her. I love you, Sakura. I always have. She felt a stab of pain hit her. I love Naruto, but he's not the only one I love. I love you too, Naruto. They headed back to Sakura's for hot cocoa and warm towels, neither of them knowing that the future was already decided and its harbinger was heading to Konoha as we speak. Mile distant from Konoha, a shadowy figure traveled. His robe and hood covering his face and body. He looked like the Grim Reaper himself, minus the scythe and plus the katana. He walked silently and gracefully as if he were walking to the market to buy fruit, not to kill his old friends. Under the darkness of his hood, the only thing that shone, were the bright red pupils of the Sharingan. Sasuke had been traveling for days from Orochimaru's hideout. Kabuto had received word that Jiraiya and Naruto had returned from their training and were settling down at the Hidden Leaf for good. Sasuke longed for the Mangekyo Sharingan, which almost guaranteed victory over Itachi and those responsible for the Uchiha massacre. If I kill Naruto, the closest thing I had to a best friend, I will achieve amazing power, beyond anything Orochimaru can possess. He checked to see if his Uchiha katana was clean and sharp. He hoped to stain it red by the end of tomorrow. The return of despair. The warm sunlight danced through the blinds of Naruto's room and lit the dark room with golden illumination. The rays of sunlight hit Naruto's drowsed face and pulled him closer to awakening. He awoke not in depression or on a pillow wet with his tears, but with a fulfilling grin and bright excitement. He had confessed his love to Sakura and she had met them with her own and open arms, even open lips. He yawned in triumph and rose with his arms outstretched and grin wider than a crescent moon. Things were going good for once in his life. Ooh man, I can't believe we go out, ha ha ha. Finally, she likes me. I don't have to be alone anymore, never again. He turned over to his clock which showed 10:50 a.m. He yawned again and slipped on his shoes and headed to the kitchen for a bowl of ramen. What else? He saw a note on the table and realized that he never wrote a reminder or note to himself. He opened the neatly folded envelope and read its contents with a growing smile. It was from Sakura and read, Naruto. Instead of gorging yourself on ramen like you usually do, come over to my house around 11, I'll make us some lunch and we can hang out. I really enjoyed last night. Love, Sakura. He admired her perfect well-scripted handwriting. His own handwriting looks like it had been gouged by a Rasengan. He turned to the clock and screamed as he remembered. Aarh. It's 10:55. I'm such a baka. He screamed as he ran down the hallway juggling on fresh clothes. He tripped over trying to slide a shoe on. He ran to his door and leapt down out on Tough Street, colliding into Kakashi and knocking his prized Ika Ika Paradise novel out of his hand. Yeah, my poor, well-written novel. He turned bright red and fled the scene. Naruto spotted a town clock and gasped, 10:58. He picked up his pace. Can't be late, can't be late, can't be late. He yelped. Sakura's apartment was up ahead, its decorated garden and exterior welcomed him inward. He had not seen it in daylight, so it appeared a marvel to him. He dodged both villager and shinobi as if they were part of the academy's agility course. He leapt up the stairs and collided against the door like lightning against stone. He slid down and composed himself, and calmly knocked as if the speed and panicking was a mere dream. Sakura, it's me Naruto. I'm hungry, ya know. He heard a laugh and the sound of approaching footsteps. The door opened and Sakura greeted him with a humorous grin. That could only be you, haha. Come on in. She wore tight jeans and a blue casual spaghetti strap singlet. She led him to the kitchen and sat him down and began baking. Oh, her baking is always terrible, and, filled with healthy disgusting ingredients like antlers. He made a face at the thought. She turned and grinned. I know what you are thinking, but I got lessons from Hinata, so I'm a good cook now, hee hee. She laid down a plate of scrambled eggs and bacon and 2 freshly cooked cinnamon muffins with a cube of butter melting on top. It looked and tasted like pure heaven. He salivated for more and more until his belly would be filled. Be this spectacular ambrosia of the gods. He turned to her and grinned. She shoved a spoonful of fruit salad in his mouth and he almost choked in surprise, accompanied by her laughter. This food is absolutely amazing. It's almost too real to be true. I know you aren't a very good cook, Sakura, but... A folded newspaper collided with the top of Naruto's head, baka. His was plummeted forward until it collided with the table. His head bounced backward after impacting on the table surface, sending him flying off his chair about to hit the kitchen floor when Sakura appeared behind him and caught his fall softly. She lowered him to her lips and kissed him deep and delicately. Thanks for the comment thou, hee hee. She giggled and with a grunt of brute strength she lifted the flailing Naruto and carried him to the coach and lay him down. She climbed atop him, continued to kiss him, growing more and more passionate until Naruto was left with half his buttons undone and his neck covered in her scent. She kissed his jaw and spoke dirty things into his ear. Followed, she kissed his earlobe and laughed at the nose bleed coursing down his face. Ha 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 ha, gotcha Naruto. Although I would love to, we are only on our second date right now, hee hee hee. Her teasing made Naruto nearly pass out. Sakura. That's not funny, not as funny as the tickle monster. He flipped her over and tickled her until she flailed around in absolute laughter. While Sakura put on her shoes ready to go out to buy ingredients for dinner, Naruto heard a knock and was given an urgent note requesting his presence at an important meeting at the Hokage office, which was top priority. He slid it into his pocket and went back into the kitchen to tell Sakura. Sakura, I'll be at Tsunade's office for a while. I'll be back soon, okay? She nodded and pecked him on the cheek. Come back soon. I'm cooking something special tonight. Would not miss it for the world. He closed the door behind him and headed up to the Hokage office with questions dotting his mind. What's it about? Why couldn't Sakura come? He knocked on the hard wood door and was granted entrance. Inside stood Kakashi, Jiraiya, Shikamaru and Asuma. They all turned and cautiously watched Naruto enter. "You wanted to see me?" "Yes, Naruto. I think you should take a seat. It's rough news." "It's okay, I'll stand. What is it, Granny Tsunade?" She pulled a scout report from her jacket and placed it on the table, opening to a document and a photograph. The photograph showed a lone ninja walking along the road, a katana sheathed to his waist and a determined stare. It was Sasuke. Where was this taken? Last night in an allied village more than 100 miles from Konoha, which means he should already be here now, among the people, in hiding. He's here, why? To join us again. We don't know, but we want you to find out. Me. He was shocked they were giving him such a personal task. You are the only one who can reach him and counter his strength with your own. Find him, learn what he wants, and either turn him in and hopefully bring him back to the light, or break his limb. Don't kill him but stop him from fighting. I can't possibly. Kakashi turned to him and spoke. If we don't deal with him, Naruto, he will become a threat to everyone. We are giving him one last chance. Please, help him. Naruto nodded and left the Hokage building, his head spinning in confusion and tense fear. Could he attack his best friend if he had to? He knew he would rather die than take the life of his friend. Sasuke, please, go down quietly. He smelled a heavenly aroma of cooked vegetables in broth and grinned. You are a really good cook. She turned to him and smiled, pulling him in closer for a kiss. The soup she made danced throughout his nostrils, luring him into the food. It's good, right? It needs onion. Do you think you could go out and buy some? Sure thing, babe, I'll be back in 15 inches. He walked out the door and placed the 2 onions he brought earlier from his pocket on the doorstep. He had noticed her empty onion pot before he went to the Hokage office and decided to stock her up on onions. He now had 15 minutes to try find Sasuke and resolve this situation before anyone, especially Sakura, got hurt. I hope this works out. I hate lying to her. He grabbed his jacket and headed through the night-filled streets of Konoha, heading towards the tattered Uchiha residence. I can feel his chakra. If he would be anywhere, it would be there. The Uchiha complex, but why? He could see the unmanned, dirty old buildings of the Uchiha complex up ahead. After the massacre, many shinobi, including the third Hokage, feared the ghosts of the Uchiha which dwelt in its abandoned streets. This kept the ninja from tearing down or refurbishing the Uchiha buildings, so they left them abandoned and forbidden. Sasuke would be untouched in that area of Konoha. Naruto passed through the archway and felt true coldness. Sasuke, I know you are here. Come out. I'm not here to kill you. Silence. Sasuke, I've been waiting for you to come back. Silence. Sasuke. Yet again Naruto was greeted with pure silence. But he could feel Sasuke's chakra grow closer, but not stronger. Something's wrong with his chakra. Normally when a strong ninja has weak chakra, it means they have used it all up in battle, had it removed from their body. But sometimes when a ninja is badly wounded, the chakra is distributed to heal that wound. This lowers their initial chakra rate and makes them weak and vulnerable. Naruto, a faint voice creaked. It came from a tattered building to Naruto's right. He ran inside and realized. This is Sasuke's house, before Itachi brought it all down. Footsteps sounded above him and he turned to the old creaky steps of this Uchiha home. Each step created a creak and a thump as the old wood groaned like a work mule. Naruto could see the sandaled feet and legs of the intruder slowly descend the stairway. There stood a bloodied, crippled and drained Sasuke Uchiha, his facials withered and pleading. Naruto, help me. Sasuke. He ran closer and caught the Uchiha as he fell forward. I'm sorry, Naruto. It's okay, Sasuke. You are here now. No. I'm sorry I befriended such a letdown, ha ha ha. He brought a kunai out of his pocket and thrust it upward into Naruto's exposed stomach, spilling blood all over the floor. Sasuke, don't take me for a fool. The clone vanished and the real Naruto stood ready to strike with his drawn kunai. Sasuke charged his chakra back to normal and drew his katana, his eyes blazing red with hatred. Naruto. You must die, for my power. Are you still focused on this revenge? Sasuke. We are giving you one last chance. I can't let you throw your life away. You are my friend. Ahahahaha. You are just a bond I have already severed, now all you are is an obstacle of power. He lunged at Naruto with ferocity. That's it. I've had enough of you. Naruto let his anger grow, fueling him with fresh Kyuubi chakra. Sasuke turned and leapt out the window, drawing Naruto to fight outside in Konoha's streets and rooftops. What is he planning? The two clashed katana to kunai midair and collided with the hard road of Konoha's main street. People fleeing in terror as the two clashed with utter deadly precision. Naruto knew he must kill Sasuke. It was either Sasuke or the lives of his fellow villagers and ninja. I got to do it. Oh why? Why now? Naruto collided with a fruit stand, spilling fruit all over the street. Naruto kicked Sasuke back and lunged at him with his kunai drawn ready to quickly slice out Sasuke's life. Sasuke rolled to his side, dodging Naruto's blow by 2 inches. He grabbed a handful of dirt and tossed it in Naruto's eyes. Naruto, my Sharingan needs your blood to achieve true power, then I can destroy Itachi. Sasuke, this ends now. I won't let you hurt anyone anymore. He summoned a shadow clone which began developing his Rasengan until it spun fast and deadly. Sasuke grasped his hand and charged his Chidori. They both charged at each other. Rasengan, Chidori. The two forces collided and exploded outward with both wind and lightning. The explosion burst windows and pushed debris outward from the light crater created by the two. They both crawled to their feet, Sasuke bleeding from his mouth and forehead. Naruto bleeding from a heavy scratch on his cheek. They both looked haggard but determined to see it through to the end. They both picked up their weapons and charged. Ah Naruto. Sasuke. The kunai was cut out of Naruto's hand and clattered on the concrete floor. Naruto wrestled to free the katana from Sasuke. He head-butted Sasuke and the hard collision of their two foreheads shook Sasuke, causing him to drop the katana. Naruto kicked it away and climbed onto Sasuke's chest, his inner Kyuubi being released as he struck Sasuke's face over and over with his own. His hand was stained with both his and Sasuke's blood. Sasuke got a hold of Naruto's ring finger and bit it off in a spray of blood. Naruto wrapped his bleeding hands around Sasuke's throat and held down tight. Sasuke's life draining away. Stop. Stop now. Naruto. A scream sounded. Naruto stopped to see the tear-stained face of Sakura. Next to her was Kakashi and Tsunade, who had come down to see the fuss. Sasuke's crippled body lay unconscious but still alive. Naruto. What have you done to Sasuke? He attacked me first. He was going to kill me to gain power. I tried to reason with him. Tsunade shouted, this is not reason. This is not the Leaf Ninja way. We said to not kill him, you had him knocking on death door. Sakura looked up shocked. You. This was a mission. To harm or kill Sasuke. No Sakura. I would never do that. I was going to tell you but I did not want to hurt you. So you go and hurt Sasuke. One you nearly kill him. Kakashi jumped in and raised his hands. Enough. Naruto acted on orders, that is all. He went too far but Sasuke is still alive. So this was a mission. Sakura screamed. Sakura, please. I wanted to turn Sasuke in peacefully but he attacked me so violently. Sasuke coughed up a mouthful of blood and spat it out on the cold concrete. It began to rain. Sasuke stared up at Sakura and the others with pleading eyes. It was the perfect act and only Naruto saw through it. I tried to reason. But the Kyuubi thirsted for blood. Oh Sakura, help me. I just want to be loved in the village again. Naruto snarled. That's a lie. He lunged at Sasuke but was elf back by Kakashi. Sasuke, did he attack you, or you telling the truth? Sasuke exposed his cut-up stomach, which was bleeding before the fight with Naruto. It was self-inflicted, but Sasuke made them think otherwise. I fought with Orochimaru. And escaped. I came to the leaf looking for peace, but the curse mark made me kill some Konoha scouts. Then Naruto tries to kill me. When all I want is someone to love, he stares up at Sakura with intense hope. He's lying, damn it. Sasuke, I will kill you for these lies. The rain falling harder. Sakura raised her tear-streamed face. Naruto. He was your friend, and you almost killed him. Sakura, please. I did not mean to hurt him or hurt you. It's all a lie. Please. So you go and hurt Sasuke. You go and hurt the man I truly love. Everyone went silent. Her words pierced the noise and confusion of their argument. Naruto stood, his legs growing weak. You love Sasuke more than you love me, you. Tears cut off his sentence and he fell to his knees. Naruto. I always loved Sasuke. I like you, but I know I was made for him. His tears flowing harder than the rain. I thought I had found my soul mate, that I would not be alone. Well, I'm not your soul mate. And you are too dangerous to be around. Sakura spoke coldly. What do you mean? Naruto pleaded. Naruto. That demon fox tore this street up, almost killed your friend, you are not stable. His anger filled his tears. Is that all I am to you people? A demon weapon, he yelled. Tsunade shook her head, but Naruto would not have it. Shut up, Tsunade. You sent me on this mission. Don't you start, his voice raised to a roar. Kakashi grabbed Naruto's arm, he pushed back. Don't touch me, Kakashi-sensei. I know you idolized Sasuke. What am I? A orphan demon. Crowds of people surrounded the carnage and began to boo and throw things at Naruto. His tears running faster and his temper rising. Sakura cradled Sasuke's head in her lap, her tears flowing onto his face. Everything was going to get out of here, you demon. You ruined this town at birth. Damned fox. The retorts of the villagers grew more and more violent. Why can't you leave me alone? My life is depressing enough as it is. A can hit Naruto square in the head and he screamed in agony and fury. No, Naruto. They are right. You should just leave, you have done enough. Sakura. No, you can't mean that. Get out. Sakura, please, you can't. Get thee out of here, you demon fox. Naruto screamed in distorted cries of anger and growing despair, tears pouring from his eyes. He fled down the street, his skin turning red as the Kyuubi tried to take over. Behind him, hordes of villagers throwing knives, plates and any debris they could get a hold of pelted Naruto's back and cursed his life. Naruto leapt out the gates of Konoha and down a long muddy hill, knives and rocks following his descent as the villagers followed him out with fury in their eyes. His body hit a muddy puddle and he was covered in its thick coat. He lay there crying in the rain, listening to the sound of frightened ninja and villagers searching for him to finish the job. They feared another attack by the Kyuubi, the pain still fresh in their memories. He lay there for hours waiting for his tears to dry up. 2 more hours passed and they were still flowing. He crawled from the ditch and limped his way through the jungle. He could hear people calling his name. Tsunade sat down hard at her desk and glared at Sakura. At her side was Kakashi and Shikamaru. It had been hours since Naruto disappeared after all broke loose. Tsunade had a glass of sake in one hand and a stress ball in the other, her fingers pressed together until the stress ball was crushed and popped. Sakura. What have we done? Naruto did cross the line, but seriously. I think we crossed the line. I had no idea you and Naruto were going out. This changes everything. The poor kid is torn apart right now. Are you sure he deserved such a scolding? Tsunade said. Sakura was silent, her head was also confused and stressed. I don't know. Oh, what have we done? I was just so angry, she sobbed. Kakashi added in, what we have done is taken an unstable young man, shown him love, and ripped it away and blamed him for destruction he never caused. He has been exiled by his own villagers and cursed for his very existence. He has known sorrow all his life, we just intensified it. I don't know what really happened, but we went the wrong way about it. Tsunade took a big hit of her sake. Dear, what do we do now? We look for him and give him time to recuperate and recover, Kakashi replied. The door burst open and Jiraiya strolled in. Where is Naruto? What is going on? Tsunade filed him in and watched Jiraiya's expression deepen. This is bad. Depression makes people do stupid things. Very stupid things, he said, on the edge of panic. Sakura stood. I'll go find him, please. We all will, we better hurry, Jiraiya said. Tsunade could not help but see the simmering hate in his eyes. Was it directed at Sakura? Or her? The voice called out again and was closer, Naruto. It came closer and closer until Naruto saw the pink hair of the collar. Maybe she would not notice him curled up in a fetal position in the mud. But sadly she did. Naruto. She ran to his side and wiped the mud from his eyes. Oh Naruto. I'm sorry. I'm so damned sorry this happened. Please come back to the village. With me. She looked at his arms and screamed. Why had he done it? Slashed along his arms were deep gouges which were pouring blood and draining him by the minute. He was tired of this stale existence and today's event drove him to the bursting point. Oh Naruto, why? Why oh? Don't touch me. Just leave me. I'm not going anywhere, Naruto. We can get through this. We can't get through. Sakura realized his pupils were obsidian black and his pupils were blood red with sorrow. Naruto, don't give me this. I am a demon. And I can't live this way. Without you, I'm dead. What is with your eyes? I am the true part of Naruto. The sorrow and despair, this is me. Please, we can sort this out. She placed her hand on his shoulder, he swiped it off and screamed. No, touch me. This was always about you and Sasuke, always, never about me. That's not true. So long, Sakura. I'll end this all for everyone. A love tear trailed down his cheek. Naruto, wait. But it was too late, he was gone. Face down in sorrow. Please, we can sort this out. She placed her hand on his shoulder, he swiped it off and screamed. No, touch me. This was always about you and Sasuke, always, never about me. That's not true. So long, Sakura. I'll end this all for everyone. A love long withered, leaving a tear trailing down his cheek. Naruto, wait. She pleased. But it was too late, he was gone. Naruto faded away into the shadows of night-engulfed forest. He tore off his top, which was already damaged from the thick brush which tore at him like talons. The heavy rain pelted his back as he ran through dirt, water and mud. His face was a light tone of brown from the grit that splashed from the ground, except 2 lines of pale skin, where the streaming tears had cleaned away the dirt. He wailed and screamed in sadness and anger at the village that had spat him out, at the friends who did not help him, at the woman who tore out his heart, and most of all, Sasuke, who had turned his world upside down and brought Naruto to such a low level. He ripped down trees and smashed rocks in absolute fury, his tears ceasing no less as they leaked out of him like twin rivers of fire. He felt his world crumble around him. Only a few hours before he was a happy man with great friends, a great ninja reputation and a woman whom he loved with all his heart. After all the blood, sweat and tears put into bringing Sasuke back to the village, he ends up betraying Naruto and turning his own people against him. He raised his fanged mouth and screamed, his obsidian black eyes pulsing with his anger, his red pupils dilating in and out. Sasuke, I will never forgive you for this, I will take my vengeance. He swiped a tree and split it in half with the force of a raging hurricane. He moved around the grove of trees, smashing and tearing. He crumbled rocks with his bare feet and dug out the earth with his savage blows. He was in an absolute craze. His tears felt like hot lead. He fell to his knees in the rough soil and spoke not only to himself, but to the world, it seemed. You always did this to me. You have made my life and burned the remains of my honor, emotions and love, do you hear me? Konoha, do you hear me? He drew his kunai and cut his arm open, letting the blood cover his kunai. He raised his bloodied kunai to the sky and shouted, I gave my blood for this village. For its people. And now, it throws me away like trash, all the people I loved. 3 years ago, the blonde-haired boy awoke like a jack in a box and sprung from his bed. He whooped with happiness and excitement. Today was his special day and he hoped people would celebrate it with him. He jumped into his clothes and ran to the kitchen yelling and screaming like any excited kid would. He poured himself a glass of expired milk and dug into a fresh bowl of ramen. He made sure to savor every flavor of his special meal. He belched aloud and ran out the door to the bright sunny streets of Konoha. It's my birthday, you know. He made his way to the park to find his friends. Hopefully they remembered it was his birthday, or there would be to pay. He looked from park to park but found no one. He even dared look in the library. Wherever he went no one was around. He began to feel a bit blue, knowing his friends were out having fun without him, on his birthday. He went to go see Tsunade and ask where they all are, hopefully she would have his answers. Hey Granny Tsunade. Where is everyone? Oh. A mission, you were asleep so they left you, sorry. Oh. I see. I'll go home now I guess. Wait, can you please go to the conference room and tell Shizune I need those reports in? Yeah sure. He felt his blue mood deepen. Not only were they away from Konoha, but they were all invited except him. He felt his moods dwindle and dampen as he felt tears coming. He turned the handle of the conference room door and entered. It was pitch black. Shizune must have left. Surprise. Happy birthday Naruto. The room echoed with voices of familiar faces. The light flicked on and he saw a whole room filled with the people he spent so long trying to find. The room was decorated with streamers and balloons. Naruto's eyes bulged as he saw the cart in the corner of the room. Ichiraku himself stood at a portable ramen cart and saluted. He was embraced by his friends and laughed at due to his glum expression prior the party. I thought you were on a mission. Sakura stood forward. We were. Operation Naraparty haha. Naruto grinned and looked at all the caring people who showed up. All the teams from Team Guy to Team Kurenai and a few extras like Iruka and Jiraiya who stood off to the side and smiled. 3 cheers for Naruto. Hip hip. Hooray. Hip hip. Hooray. The day followed through with laughter, love and games. No missions were done that day and all the ramen was gone. That day stood out in Naruto's mind like a tower in a clear desert. He was happy then. Flashback ends. Are you telling me it was all a lie? He licked a drop of his blood off the kunai and let the Kyuubi speak the poetry of despair and hatred. Konoha. I will not rest until your walls are dust and Sasuke is dead. I'll kill you all. He gained control again and knelt there silent, his features calming and his tears ever flowing more and more. His gazed down at a puddle of muddy water and recoiled at his reflection. His face was covered in blood and mud, his hair was dusty and savagely longer than usual and his eyes were jet black with 2 crimson orbs for pupils in each socket. Following his reflection he brought his fingers to his face and felt the fangs that had grown through his anger. His sanity gathering and sending him more and more into a deep focus. He stared into his own black eyes and trembled. What have I become? I really am a monster. His anger blunted and sadness took general control. What is happening to me? No, I can't turn into this demon. His tears rolling like boulders. He tasted his own blood in his mouth and felt repulsed. I can't live this way anymore. He raised his kunai to his chest and pulled his headband from his pocket. With one quick slash, his bond with Konoha was severed. Letting his blood drip on the headband, he threw it as far as he could from him. He brought the kunai closer to his chest and cried over its hilt. Mom, Dad, I don't know who you are. Forgive me. Paige, please, his lips trembling and his hands shaking. Sakura, he called aloud, hoping she would hear him. Here is your solution, he roared, feeling the urge to carry on slipping. He thrust the kunai deep in his stomach and ripped it to one side, tearing open his belly and spilling blood like water over the muddy soil. He fell to his back and waited for death to take him from his endless sorrow. I wish I had been loved by someone truer, he whispered. His world went dark. Sasuke sat up on his bunk, gasping for air as the nightmare ripped him from slumber. They had placed him in a holding cell while everyone went out to find Naruto or his body. He knew it now, Naruto was dead. He checked the mirror and opened his eyelids wide in anticipation for his change. Nothing but his 3 eyes stared back. He stood there silent, shocked, trembling at the horrifying realization. Naruto is dead, and my eyes are the same. Why? My actions got him killed. I killed him. Where is my power? All in vain. To earn the Mangekyo, one must go through terrible pain and despair to achieve such a power. The killing of a friend or relative would accomplish such. Sasuke set out to kill Naruto, who nobody knew, was his best and only friend he ever cared about. He drove his fist into the wall and gritted his teeth and tears welled up in the corner of his eyes. Naruto. This was all in vain. And now you're dead. Oh, Naruto. He screamed his friend's name over and over, driving his fist into the concrete wall. No one had ever known how Sasuke felt about Naruto. What they saw was a well-played mask. But in reality, Sasuke loved the competition, the support and even the arguments. Naruto was like a brother to Sasuke. The two always worked well together despite the arguments and pride each ninja seemed to seek. Now his only friend was dead and he still did not have the power needed to defeat Itachi. Despair filled him, but it was not enough to awaken a Mangekyo. He was left alone like a hollow shell. Naruto. I'm sorry. I ruined your life. I never meant to be such an, it was the only way to make us enemies. I loved you, like a brother. He gritted his teeth and came to an epiphany of both truth and revelation. Naruto. I will live the life you wanted me to. I will defend Konoha and its people. And when I am strong enough, I will kill Itachi and bring peace to the village. And I'll be the first Uchiha Hokage. Naruto. I promise. Tears leaked down his face as he gazed at the moon. Sasuke was a different man now. Sakura searched the darkness. She had searched for hours on end for Naruto. Kakashi and Yamato scouted ahead with their jutsu, while everyone else thoroughly searched every ditch and cave. Sakura felt her own world crumble as she came further and further from solving her issues with Naruto. She had screwed up and she knew it. She called out loud again, hoping to hear his responsible. Naruto. Naruto, please come back. Crickets and silence replied. She moved through the brush searching for clothing scraps or hair that could be followed. Instead she saw Kakashi, knelt to the ground examining a piece of metal. Kakashi-sensei, what have you found? Kakashi seemed to be weeping, his stare still cold and serious. War changed things. Sakura. Turn back, we must go back, please. What is it? She pushed past him and gazed at the blood-stained headband of Konoha, a large scratch running through it with blood in its crevices. Sakura, the blade was already when he scratched it, and he has thrown away his bond with Konoha. What are you saying, Kakashi? He killed someone. No, he cut himself and removed all ties with Konoha, before killing himself. What? No, no. No, 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 no. No, that can't be right. Kakashi got to his feet and led the girl away from the scene. She tried to reach for his headband. Sakura. He is dead. No, Naruto, no. Her screams pierced the night. If only they searched a little more, they would have found him. Reality seemed a black hole, eating away at his thoughts and memories as he lay there dying. The rain ceased but the ground still grew damp from the never-ending flow of sorrow leaking from his fading eyes. He lay there for hours and hours staring up at the forest canopy in hope someone would save him. No one ever came. His mouth grew dry and his stubble grew as days went by. Each minute he begged for death to take him. But it seemed that both fate and the Nine Tails wanted him to suffer each minute until the game was done. His life never flashed before his eyes. All there was to see was the sky and the leaves mocking him. He did not know if he had soiled himself or not. He lost feeling in his lower body and had vomited to his side more than twice. Lying there on the cold damp earth, no one ever came. They left me, why am I surprised? Another day passed and he came to a realization that the fox's chakra were keeping him alive and stable, whether the fox himself liked it or not. And so there lay Naruto Uzumaki. It his own blood, mud, vomit and waste. Scraggly stubble and dark circles under his eyes. He felt like his life had turned into a numb paradox of hate and despair. He was too numb to hear the footsteps approaching. He registered finally and scanned the sound of their movements. Two of them, two men, lightly armed. Not Konoha shinobi. They stopped and he could feel their shadows looming over him. His eyesight had blurred out and diminished from sleep deprivation. What the happened to him, whoever he is? I don't know. Left for dead. Looks like an attempted suicide. Wait. It's this kid, your little brother's friend. Shut up. I realized. He is the Nine Tails Jinchuriki after all. Sweet. Let's kill him here and tell Pain we can proceed with the ceremony. No, don't you see, he was kicked out of Konoha, left for dead and forgotten like trash. I sense great hatred in him, but not towards us. So, unsheath Samahata, and use the bandages to carry this kid. He comes back to the hidden rain, call all the members. What are you thinking, Itachi? I think we found our newest member Kisame, one with usable hatred. Naruto had barely registered the conversation, but even through his poor eyesight, could he notice the big red clouds adorned on their cloaks. The Akatsuki had claimed their prize. Redemption. Itachi's mind was heavy with thought. Why had Naruto been kicked out of his own village? Why had he tried to commit suicide? He could hardly believe that such a gutsy kid could sink so low to end up near dead and in a puddle of his own blood. And Kisame and Itachi had brought him to a stream and dunked him in for a few minutes to clean the horrid crust off his body, then they set out to the hidden rain. Itachi had Naruto slung over his shoulder while Kisame cradled the unsheathed Samahata. The sword bared its teeth and purred as Kisame let it feast on his chakra. Itachi never really understood the bond between the two, it was almost a paternal bond like father and child. Kisame was an odd member of the Akatsuki, but a very straightforward and honorable one at that. Itachi was grateful to be paired up with him. Out of all the members I am the luckiest. I've spent only a few years in the Akatsuki and I already know each member well enough as it is. I could have been paired with any of them. Lucky I gathered a great amount of intel on each member before I chose my partner. Itachi ran all his information through his head, scanning the members and their information. He read it aloud in his mind, as if they were all to be judged. Deidara, a simple-minded member, who thrives to perfect his art. Excels in explosives and espionage, formerly from the Hidden Stone. He is very skilled in his art, but I think with his art comes great hubris and a lack of focus. Okay to work with, but not a practical partner. Sasori, a very literal and serious member of our organization, his combat is his ability as a master puppeteer. Along with his own puppets, his own body is heavily modified and lacks any human appearance. That's why I thought at first until he revealed his true form. He looks like a simple kid, maybe 17 or so. Despite his appearance, he is older than most of us due to his puppet body. Formerly from the Hidden Sand Village, he was another candidate I found easy to work with. Hidan, quite the opposite to many of our members. Hidan is obnoxious, loud and vulgar. A suicidal fanatic to the of slaughter, Jashin. He possesses the power of immortality and the power to inflict damage on himself and transfer it to other people with a drop of their own blood. Almost voodoo sorcery in nature, this makes him a dangerous foe to fight. His humorous personality is rivaled with his blood, truly an unstable member, formerly of the Hidden Hot Water Village. No wonder. Kakuzu, our organization's accountant, financial representative, he also has the abilities of immortality. Covered head to toe in stitches and scars, it is no wonder he is the Akatsuki's amateur surgeon. He appears to be made of stitches himself. Also with my Sharingan I could see more than one heart beating, which must be a clue to his immortality. Formerly a member of the Hidden Waterfall Village, he is a member I find rather scary. Kisame, as I thought before, very straightforward and honorable, such is the trait of a member of the Hidden Mist 7 Ninja Swordsman. His sword, Samahata, is an alive entity that consumes chakra-like food. Kisame openly gives it chakra and in return Samahata decimated his enemies. I am pleased to be his partner. Konan, the only female member of the Akatsuki so far, she is the right-hand woman to Nagato. The two have been partners since before the organization was formed by Pain, or Nagato if you want to call him by his real name. I can see clearly that the two are in love, but they keep it more than a secret. She excels in origami and can create paper bombs in a second with her jutsu. A proud guardian of the Hidden Rain Village, she is known as the Angel. She is beautiful, yes, I won't deny it. Pain, or Nagato if you will, is our great leader, also of the Hidden Rain. He formed this organization and recruited us all one by one. He possesses the fabled Rinnegan, the very eyes of the great sage of the Six Paths. He believes himself to be he certainly has the power of one. Heavily pierced, he controls 6 bodies with chakra rods placed in each body. I have seen his real body maybe 2 or 3 times. He is heavily injured and has no use of legs, but he is wise nonetheless. Konan protects him with her life. A truly devastating leader, no doubt. Toby, something about this kid get to me. It's as if he is older than Sasori but uses the voice of a crazy teenager. From what I see, he is stupid, humorous, childish and not very suitable for a mercenary organization such as ours. But despite all this, I sense great hatred and power within him, almost as if he had the hatred of the Uchiha inside him. I am not certain of his village. He could be a simple drifter. He reminds me of a Uchiha kid that got killed a while back. Obito. I forgot his name, but this Toby, something is going on behind the shadows, and he is a part of it. Zetsu. Maybe the most mysterious creature recruited. He resembles a plant and shares the same teleportation effect as Toby. His body is divided in half, so it's hard to say whether it is one or two beings. The light side is cheerful like Toby, the black side is serious and cold like Pain or Kakuzu. No village, no human attributes. No way of knowing who he really is. I sensed a bit of Senju blood in him however, but I could be mistaken. Kisame looked at Itachi's concentrated face and grinned. What are you thinking about, Itachi? Samahata purred in a near-sleeping stage. Nothing, just our other members, and him, our possible new member. If he survives recovery and training, sure. Quote, Naruto mumbled in his sleep and spoke one word that shook Itachi to the bone, Sasuke. He will make it, he has a reason. Sakura flipped open the lock and stepped inside and closed the door behind her. Sasuke had been moved to a better room with a window and working lights and water. The window was strong glass and was reinforced with chakra seals to avoid him escaping. Not that he would stay in the village, after all he had done. Sakura. Sasuke, Please take a seat. I need to tell you something. Sakura. I should have been more kinder to Naruto on my entry. I should have acted like more of a friend and not an enemy. It's okay. Sasuke, you did not mean it to turn out like this. Dual streams of tears spilled down her face, her lips puckered and twitched. What's wrong? He stood to embrace her, she folded herself in his arms and screamed into his shoulder. Naruto is dead. Her harsh cries registered through his jacket. I know. I felt it in my heart and dreams. I'm so sorry, he said. Dawning regret filled him. Why? It's all my fault. I drove him to it and the damned Kyuubi helped him do it. Do it? What do you mean? The shock and depression. He killed himself. Sasuke knew he was dead, but he thought it was the act of the villagers, wounds or even the Nine-Tails Fox. He had no idea his own actions caused Naruto to commit suicide. Sasuke felt twin stabs of heat sting his eyes. He realized that he too was crying. He held Sakura dear to him and wept over his fallen friend. Were you and Naruto in love? Yes. Well, he loved me more than I did him. I see. I'm so sorry, Sakura. I feel it blame for. Sasuke realized he was about to confess and silenced himself. If I am to live the life Naruto wanted, I must live it happily and without any trouble. If I tell her it would only bring pain. No matter how I hate it. He led her to the spare seat and the two sat together until Sakura was called away to speak with the Hokage. The air was warm and dry, a real change from the damp and humid earth which Naruto spent so long dying on. His eyes were bandaged up and he felt his abdomen also bandaged up. His arms and legs were shackled to the table and he could barely move. His stomach was a flaring pain as he felt the rough stitches holding him together. He could also feel various IV lines connected to his wrists and chest. He tried to speak but his throat was dry and crusty, what he would give for a simple glass of water. He knew for a fact that he was not in a simple hospital, he could hear nothing but the machines beeping away. He tried to force his hands out of the shackles but instead he heard a loud beep register and stopped. They have me monitored, whoever they are. He felt his chakra being restored little by little, which explained some of the force. He figured he was not being kept by the enemy, because why would the enemy give him chakra so freely? He lay back and relaxed, gathering enough saliva to swallow and clear out his dusty throat. He recollected the past events and felt both sadness and anger seep into him yet again. Sakura had ripped out his heart, Kakashi had done nothing but watched and Sasuke had ruined his entire life in the village with lies and fake stories. His fist tightened and his nails dug into his palm drawing four of blood. His teeth clenched and he snarled at the Uchiha that had done all this to him. There is still hate in you. It lurks like a creature in the dark, my young Jinchuriki. Where are my manners? Here, open your mouth. I have water. Naruto simply could not refuse. Tea. Thanks, his throat clearing for the first time in days. Don't mention it. How are you, Naruto? In page. Pain. Quote. I am all too familiar with pain. My name. You know my name. Well, sure we do, we have watched you for quite some time. Naruto Uzumaki. I thought I was the last of my clan too, not until now at least. Wait, you. SSSH, I'll let you get rest now. Your name, what's your name? He stood silent for a moment, deciding what was the best answer, what would gain this kid's trust. He decided on the truth. Nagato. Nagato Uzumaki. He stepped out of the room and closed the door. Naruto's voice gave way to a surprised yell. Wait, you and I are clan members. It was a long 15 minutes before the door opened again and a heavier set of feet stomped on in. He could tell it was a man by the gruff way he carried himself. He felt cold hands trail his healing wounds and prod at the stitches and the faint sound of a pen on a clipboard. Whoever they were organized. He sensed powerful chakra that no ordinary doctor would possess. Naruto felt his arm being lifted and examined closely by the doctor, its breath registering on the nape of Naruto's hairs. He mustered up the courage to talk. Sir. When do I fully recover? Sorry. You probably get it a lot. Your wounds are healing fast, and my stitching is holding together more than enough. I'll give you a good 3 days rest. The bandages around your eyes can come off in a few hours. The monk's voice sounded deep and cold, as if Naruto's life was profitable. Compared to the previous visitor, this man was all business, no smiles. Thanks. Doctor. I'm not a doctor. But I'll take it as a compliment. My name is of no importance, only money is of importance. Oh, okay, sorry. The money-loving not doctor only grunted and finished his exam and left the room without any formalities, and Naruto was left alone to himself to think about where he was, who they were and what to do next. He was familiar with the red cloud, but he could not remember where he had seen it. They have not killed me, they have fed me my chakra back and have given me urgent medical attention. They took me and went Konoha through me. Out, and now I find out one of them could possibly be related to me, if not he is in my clan nonetheless. The clan that was supposed to be wiped out long ago. What reason would I have to escape or try leave early? My home is gone and my friends left me for dead, and now I belong to no one. I'm all alone and it's all Sasuke's fault. Maybe Pervy Sage will help me. But he probably thinks I'm dead and is buried in a bottle of sake right now. I can't get close to the village without them throwing me out again. There is no use living this horrid reality. I owe these people. I really do. Tsunade and Jiraiya sat together on the balcony. Jiraiya, who had just heard the news, cried and wailed openly. It broke Tsunade's heart to see him so distraught by Naruto's death. She herself had cried herself dry before gaining the courage to tell Jiraiya. He popped the cork off of a sake bottle and took a deep gulp of its milky liquid and wept silently as it calmed his emotions the tiniest degree. He hugged Tsunade tight and clenched his fists. I should have been there. He needed family to calm him down. He needed his godfather to tell him it's all okay. It's my fault. No, Jiraiya. It's not. It's KY fault for sending Naruto on such a personal mission. He also found out Sakura's true feelings. Oh no. Love. It's cruel when it has no right to be. Fresh tears welling up again. Sakura feel terrible Jiraiya, she feels she is responsible. She is. This whole village has hated Naruto since birth. They should know how unstable his emotions are. Damned. Jiraiya, calm down. I am calm for sakes. I lost a grandson today. I lost a son, a student, a friend, and this village cares a less. A knock sounded and Tsunade turned to let them in. Come in. The door opened and Sakura stepped in, her eyes wet with tears. She could not bear herself to look at Jiraiya in the eyes. She knew he was like a father to Naruto. Tsunade. She broke down into tears and Tsunade pulled the girl and let her cry it all out. Where is the body, Tsunade? Jiraiya moaned. They never found it. But then he could still be alive, damn it. Jiraiya, no, his headband was scratched and covered in his blood. For all we know, an animal took off with his body. Or the Akatsuki. No, you are probably right. I will search for it tonight, however. I need something to do, this city reeks of hubris. He knocked gently on the door. Yamato did not think he would answer the door, not after the incident. Not for a while. His friend would have to add another name to the honors stone he visited every day. Yamato was worried. He knew it was hard to lose a student. He could not imagine how Jiraiya felt. He grew too worried and used his wood jutsu to unlock the wooden door and he stepped inside. The room was dark and cold, but he could sense his chakra in the next room. He saw the silver hair and the glistening bottle of sake and he sighed. Kakashi. How are you feeling? Hey, I'm fine. You have been drinking. It's unlike you. I lost another student, another friend. He was going to go so far. He had so much potential. He was going to become Hokage, my Naruto. Yamato patted his friend on the shoulder and took up a seat, pouring himself a glass of sake. He had to think of something to talk about, but he had no idea. Are we sure he's? Kakashi nodded. Pakken found no body or trace of his scent outside the village. His body was eaten most likely. Come on, man, don't say that. Quote. It's true, damn it, it's true. I failed him just like I failed Rin. And Obito. His friend collapsed on the table and gave way to his emotions, crying openly on the dark wooden desk. I am worse than trash. I forgot my friends. You were a bit drunk, and a great ninja who cares for everyone. The White Fang would be proud, Kakashi. The door opened and Naruto heard newer footsteps trail into the corner of the room. This chakra was more intense than before, almost familiar. Naruto gathered his courage yet again and spoke up to the strange visitor. He hoped for answers and reconciliation. Who are you? I know your chakra. I saved you, brought you here with my partner. We sensed your chakra and came to the source. You were lucky to be alive. No. I am cursed, that's why I am alive, we have met before this. I know that voice as well. How is my brother? Is he back in the village? Has he beat his hatred, broken the curse? Who are you and who is your brother? Sasuke, how is he? Sasuke, I'll kill him. I'll tear his throat out and watch him bleed, it's all his fault, you. I know you now. The blindfold was ripped from his face and he felt the harsh light blind him. He slowly opened his eyes and gazed at the solemn Uchiha. Itachi, I should have known, you are a part of the Akatsuki. It seems my brother's hatred was passed on to you. Naruto. Rehabilitation. It seems my brother's hatred was passed on to you. Naruto. The only thing your brother gave me was despair and sadness. My hate is my own. What will you do with that hate then? Kill Sasuke and burn the leaf to the ground, he said, a vicious sneer crossing his lips. Is that you or the Kyuubi talking? Itachi asked, truly curious. I don't know anymore, both I guess. Then on behalf of our leader, join us, we saved your life and share the same will of destruction as we do. Join the Akatsuki. I don't know. It's too soon for me to take sides in a world that seems to reject me. I disagree, but it's fine, I'll have Kakuzu. Kakuzu, Naruto said, cocking an eyebrow. The doctor, he stitched you up and most likely ranted about money, anyway. He will drop you off outside and your life is up to you. Itachi turned and walked towards the door. Naruto's mind was filled with hatred-stained memories of his village. The looks of disgust given to him by his very own villagers. The annoyed and saddened eyes Sakura gave him as she comforted her true love. The humorous-filled eyes of Sasuke, who had planned for all this to happen. The hate boiled within him, overflowing and overheating his once peaceful mind. He wanted revenge, he wanted it to all go back to the way it once was, but there was no going back now. Wait, I will join you. Glad to hear it, welcome to the Akatsuki. Naruto. What now? You have healed up fine enough to walk around, but don't strain yourself or Kakuzu will have to stitch you up again, and he won't be pleased, come to think of it, he never is, Itachi said, a thin smile displayed. Where are we going? To introduce you to our organization and begin our little tour, let's go. You can walk right. Naruto nodded and hopped off his bed, only to collapse to the floor as his feet gave way. Ah, baka baka baka. So I take it you do want help. Ah. Here, Itachi lifted Naruto up and positioned his arm around his shoulder, letting Naruto lean on him as they walked down the hallway towards the living quarters of the Akatsuki. Tsunade sat down and gestured Sakura to do the same. Jiraiya had left to go search the woods for any clues or remains of his student. The group had composed themselves and were planning ahead for the village. Sakura wanted to bring up Sasuke in the conversation, but Tsunade beat her to it. So, is Sasuke here to stay? Is he going to be cooperative or a problem? How is he coping? He is, as devastated as the rest of us. He lost a friend, believe it or not, he only kept his act up to keep people away. He is here to stay, he wants to live the life Naruto wanted for him. I see. Sakura, people have to know, everyone needs to know now. It was not any of our faults. It is just a big misunderstanding. Jiraiya and others may think it's someone's fault. They may think any one of us are horrible people or could give a less about Naruto. But the truth is, I have taken his death as if it was my own brother. Naruto meant the world to everyone he knew. There are few villagers who hated him because he was a Jinchuriki, but it was all unlucky and a huge misunderstanding at the time. He was angry and we were all in shock from seeing Sasuke. We said bad things and bad things happened. We will all regret what we did, but I'm sure Naruto would not want us to suffer from it, right? Tsunade. No one has told you, have they? Told me what? Naruto slashed his headband, scratched out the Konoha symbol and stained it with his blood. He told me that we had all drove him to the edge and he could not live this way anymore. He hated us up until his death. Tsunade. I see. Well, there is nothing we can do now. We can only bury him like a hero and pay our tributes to one of the village's best ninja, yes. And Sasuke. Well, you flat out said you love him. You dumped Naruto for him, you decide. Tsunade. Don't Sakura. Love is the most destructive weapon known to man, leave it be. What's done is done. I will help Sasuke recover and find his place in the village. I will help him live the life Naruto wanted for him. I find myself in tears, but he's all I have left. Itachi led Naruto through the well-lit tunnels of the Akatsuki main base. Naruto could tell it was underground due to the lack of windows and reinforced frame holding the tunnel together. The sound of yelling and glass smashing greeted them up ahead. Oh boy. Well, oh, you are about to meet out first member. Hidan. An explosion sounded and more swearing was called. And what seems to be Deidara, this will be interesting, stay close. Okay. If you say so. They opened a steel vault door and entered a room that seemed to be made of solid steel and stone. It was a sparring court. Two men fought each other violently and taunted each other just as vulgar as such killers should. A third man sat to one side at a table, counting what seemed like wager money. He slipped a few bills in his pocket when the two weren't looking. Ah, you piece of. Stop evading my swipes with your clay. Hidan, my evasive maneuvers and grand display of explosion is my true art. The one named Hidan was swiping a large three-headed scythe from side to side trying to cut apart the blonde-haired man named Deidara. Hidan was a fast-paced fanatical fighter who cared very little about his own safety. Deidara however was very skilled in evasive skills and explosive techniques used for both offense and defense. Deidara, you are nothing but a clay. Baka. The third man chuckled, for a man who hides behind his immortality, you can't talk Hidan. Kakuzu. Shut your hole. Naruto realized at once, that's the guy who stitched me up. Kakuzu. Well, would you look at that, the kid is up already, looks like you owe me 50 Ryo Deidara. The two men stopped their sparring and stared at Naruto with amusement and suspicion. Now that Hidan had stopped flailing around so quickly, Naruto could get a good look at his new comrade. Hidan was a white-haired, tall and built man who carried a strong aura of humor and violence. Naruto could tell from the beginning. Who is this little shrimp? Looks barely old enough to on his own. I'm 17. Baka. Hidan's eyes shot wide open. Do you say boy? He sprinted towards the boy. Itachi moved to intercept but Naruto pulled him back. Naruto sprinted towards the man and drove his fist deep into Hidan's stomach, winding the man and sending him back down onto the court. He lay there whooping for air and above all else, laughing like a loon. Ha ha ha. I'm sorry. Ha ha. I had to test the new guy. Ha ha. Passed my test. His face eased and his features turned stone cold. He bared his teeth savagely at Naruto. However, if you do that again, I'll beat you to death with the same severed arm that touches me, got it? Sure thing, chum. Hidan turned red at this, but Deidara pushed him out of the way and extended his hand. Don't mind him. I'm Deidara. Good to see I won't be the only blonde here. Say. Do you appreciate art? Not really. I would rather spend my time training than being a sissy painting pictures and pretty drawings. This made Hidan laugh hard. This kid is killing me, ha 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 ha. Watch your words, or you will find me hidden in your room, waiting to deal your death. Deidara's hand spat out a small caterpillar which no doubt was highly explosive. By the look of your girly ponytail, would you be hiding in the closet by any chance? Hidan was drinking a glass of sake and spat it out all over the floor in hysterical fits of laughter. Let's move on, Naruto, you seem to fit in fine. Hang on, let me go say thanks. Naruto walked over to Kakuzu and placed 50 Ryo on the table. Thanks for helping me. Deidara almost forgot to give this to you. Deidara patted his pockets and realized he had been mugged. Ah, Baka. Serves you right. Shall we continue? Yeah, whatever, I'll send you to Jashin in no time. Itachi and Naruto moved along the corridor, moving to the next room where Naruto will no doubt meet more strange people. Well, that went well. Sorry I needed to face it head on and let them know I'm not here to around. Oh, I know, you survived your first encounter with Hidan just fine, many are dead at this point. They came to another large room. It was a massive library with bookshelves acting as the four main walls, packed with books of every kind. It was a comfortable room with decent flooring and a roaring fire. In the middle of the room at a large oak table sat a boy who looked no older than Naruto. He was working on a large puppet with an array of tools and gadgets. He looked up and nodded. Hi. New kid, right? Yeah, or you as well? Not really. I'm older than everyone you will meet, except Kakuzu and that Zetsu guy. Really? How old are you? Oh, about 35 now. Say WHAAT. Yup. Got a problem with it? No, it's just odd. Because of my young body, right? Yeah, you look no older than me. Because this body is a puppet. You could say I'm a ghost controlling an empty husk. Heya Itachi. Let's move along, he whispered as quiet as possible, this guy gives me the creeps. Walking down yet another tunnel, Naruto and Itachi moved to the next destination, passing various rooms of leisure, pleasure and training. It seemed the Akatsuki had every requirement covered and much more, what they needed was easily provided. The Akatsuki were well and truly wealthy it seemed. Itachi looked shocked then calm, he turned to Naruto. Looks like our next member is in the kitchen, let's just avoid this one, he's odd but untrustworthy. What do you mean by odd? Just listen. Naruto pressed his ear to the door of the kitchen and listened to the strange member talk to himself like a lunatic. Ooh, no one's around. I wonder if they have. Yes. Dumplings. Ooh yes, I can have some. Yes. None of those smelly guys are around. Not even Deidara-chan. Haha, this grub is all mine. Hehe. I can't believe Mr. Zetsu let me join. Ooh, Toby is a good boy after all. Dumplings. Naruto pulled his head away with a truly distraught expression. This guy is a complete nutcase it seemed. Naruto had no idea why Itachi of all people feel uneasy about this guy. Naruto was about to leave when suddenly the member named Toba's head burst through the wall and spotted the two. Ooh, hey there Mr. Itachi. Hey there Mr. Who. Naruto Uzumaki. Aren't the Uzumakis all dead? Haha. Naruto drove his fist into the wall. Toby seemed to float his head to one side and dodge the blow. Toby had not cracked or crumbled the wall, he seemed to be ghosting out of it like someone emerging from water, he was a part of the very wall itself. Well, bye-bye. He sunk back into the wall to the open kitchen room to snack on dumplings it seemed. Naruto now knew why this character was so shady. Naruto had not seen such a jutsu ability before. Naruto could tell, his new comrades were certainly a strange bunch. But he had revenge to seek in a city worth burning, they would have to do. Itachi led Naruto to what looked like an elevator, they stepped inside and closed the solid steel cage. Itachi connected his hand to a buttonless console, it activated and began to pull the two up from underground to the tall building above. The harsh brightness of daylight hurt Naruto's eyes and forced him to squint until they adjusted. Hey, how does this elevator work anyway? Power, oil, chakra. I'm feeding a little of my chakra to power the motors. Civilians can't use it that way. Cool, can I? No. If you used your chakra, the elevator would ascend at high speeds and crush itself on impact with the top floor, killing us both and rendering our bodies nothing more than mush. Your Kyuubi chakra is far too powerful. Oh right. So who are we meeting next? The last three. The first one is our corporation's messenger, Scout. I must warn you, he looks more like a plant than he does a human. Zetsu is certainly unique. The ground around the two shimmered and a large plant seemed to rise out of the elevator floor itself. It looked like a large Venus flytrap. It wore a Akatsuki robe like the rest of the team. The mouth split open revealing a half-black half-white being simply known as Zetsu. Haalloo. He's Zetsu. You are too kind Itachi. Your compliments bring me joy. Is this the new member? Does not look like much. He is the Nine-Tails Jinchuriki, he is more than much. Ooh, a new member. The white one cooed. Welcome Naruto. We are the Akatsuki's scout and intel gatherers. If you fail to succeed in missions or sell us out in any IR form, if you dare to cross us and challenge our knowledge and experience, we will kill you. As slowly and painfully as possible, failure is not an option, the darker one stated. Don't worry about him. Black Zetsu is known for his ferocity. Not like me haha. Got it. I won't let you down. At this Zetsu closed up and submerged without a sound. Time to meet our leader. The top floor of the building was illuminated by the row and rows of windows letting through the new day's sunlight. There were two large doors at the end of the long hallway. Above these doors was a perfectly folded origami angel seemed to float as if hung by strings. It turned to them and few seconds later the large doors creaked open, and a shadowy figure emerged from the darkness. They moved with both grace and a sense of dangerous protection. This is our leader's partner and second in command, Konan. The figure emerged from the dark and revealed to Naruto that it was a woman. Her beauty was bold but not enhanced by any makeup or perfumes, her beauty was pure appearance. I see. This is our newest member, Naruto Uzumaki. Ah, yes, my lady. Conan giggled. It seemed she was more girly and relaxed in nature when she was at home, not on missions or killing people for a living. You are here to see Nagato, correct Itachi? Yes. Well, Naruto is to enter alone. Nagato and Naruto, both being of the same clan, have a lot to talk about. I understand. Naruto, go in. Naruto took a deep breath and gulped hard. He was about to meet the leader of the Akatsuki, his own leader now. He was coldly nervous to the bone. One wrong move and you could be killed or tortured. He stepped inside and closed the heavy doors behind him. The darkness was thick and menacing, but he saw a lit doorway at the end of the hallway and moved towards it. He knocked and the door swung open, but no one had pushed it open for him. Enter. Naruto Uzumaki. My long-lost clansman. He entered warmly lit room. A fire roared and the room was decorated with books, fine rugs and trophies of the Akatsuki's triumphs. Near the fire was a large throne-like chair. Sitting on it was a middle-aged man with a long red hair. The fringe covered one eye but left one eye unscathed. That eye glowed purple with the power of the Rinnegan. Nagato was a like figure indeed. His back contained multiple protruding chakra rods which no doubt powered something or someone. The back of the throne had a large hole carved out of the throne so Nagato could sit black against it, his chakra rods protruding out the hole like swords in a chest. Take a seat. We have much to discuss, Nagato gestured. Are you really? And Uzumaki like me? I thought I was alone. I was alone, Naruto said. His throat felt dry, it was a lot to take in. Yes. My family had moved to the Hidden Rain village long ago. They were needed to help seal a troublesome salamander the size of a house, then they fell in love with the land and decided to stay. I was born in the Hidden Rain and call it my home. So you and I might be related, like family. There is a possibility. I'm sure Kakuzu can test our blood to find out. The leaf, they threw me out, Nagato, like trash, because I'm a tailed beast. I understand. The leaf is not all paradise. In truth, the hidden leaf is a hubris, gloating society of old soldiers who want nothing more than to profit from war and devastation. They were going to eventually use you, Naruto, that's all you were to them. A loaded weapon, but not here. To us you are a member, a brother and even a student. I still need to get used to being taught by someone else other than my sensei. Who is your sensei? Jiraiya, one of the legendary Sannin. He is probably the only one who understood me and probably misses me right now, damn it. Nagato's eyes went wide as if the past had come back to hit him. He remembered his old master and fresh nostalgic memories of their childhood returned to him, especially memories of Chibi and Yahiko. Nagato realized now, not only was Naruto a fellow clan's member, he was a sibling disciple. Nagato saw great promise in this boy. Are you okay, Nagato? I mean master. Why? Yes, it's nothing. Please, call me Nagato, you and I are like brothers now. I won't have my members teach you anything however. What? Why not? Because I will become your sensei, we both share wind chakra, correct? Really, you have wind chakra? The Rinnegan I possess grants me use of all forms of chakra. I will teach you our ways. And you will someday take my place. Really, me? Of course. We share the same clan, blood and sensei after all. Wait, what? You and Pervy Sage? Haha, I suppose Pervy Sage is a good name for him, yes. Jiraiya's sensei taught me how to be a shinobi. He taught you? Yes, we can talk more later, Naruto. I need to know what you aim for. What is your goal through us? I want it all to burn, every leaf in that forest to be turned to ash. And so it shall be. My student, finding lost love. Sasuke walked down the empty streets. No one was in Konoha, it seemed. He was all alone. Where is everyone? Sasuke. He turned around to see his friend standing in the street clutching his stomach. A large slash has cut Naruto wide open, spilling his intestines over his hands, which desperately tried to push them back in. In one of Naruto's hands was a bloodied kunai which had done the damage. Sasuke felt like vomiting at the gruesome sight. Naruto. Sasuke. You did this to me. Your hatred, your despair, passed on to me. This is all you. Naruto stumbled to his knees, his eyes beginning to bleed and his hair falling out in tufts. Sasuke began to run towards Naruto, but he was not moving as he ran. Sasuke sprinted on the spot but was not moving any closer to Naruto. He outstretched his arm and tried to reach Naruto, tears spilling down his eyes. Naruto. Give me your hand. No. The ground opened up and a large furry claw wrapped around the mangled boy and pulled him down to the depths of it seemed. The Kyuubi's roaring laughing ripped through Sasuke's mind. He began to scream in the real world. Sasuke awoke covered in thick sweat. He gripped his chest and gasped for fresh air. He had screamed and he knew it. It was more than a nightmare, it was a haunting at the very least. Sasuke folded his head in his hands and wept. Naruto had come to him yet again in his nightmares, which had become more and more frequent. Sasuke. Sakura had pushed open the door and ran in at the sound of Sasuke's distressed nightmares. Sasuke was staying in Sakura's spare bedroom until he found an apartment in Konoha and put back into the shinobi system. What's wrong, Sasuke? It's okay. I'm here. She cradled him in her arms, his bare chest shiny with perspiration. Naruto. He came to me. It's my fault. Oh, I miss him, Sakura. Oh. His tears spilled down his cheeks as he let it all out. It was hard for a shinobi to cry, especially a Uchiha, but these are by no means a normal circumstance. Sasuke, he always loved you so dearly and now his greatness wish has come true. You have come back to the village, which is all he ever wanted. Well, he always wanted you. Well, that's different, Sasuke, please. I loved him, but it was so early. I fell in love with the man he became. But I have been in love with you since the beginning. Sasuke. I feel horrible for what I have done, but I love you. Sasuke thought long and hard as she talked. Naruto wanted him to live a happy life in the village. Would he ruin his friendship with Naruto by confessing his love to Sakura? He was unsure, but he knew Naruto wanted him to be happy and live a normal life. Love would be the quickest way to achieve this. I'll do it. I've been a cold for too long. What is your answer, Sasuke? I love you, and I will never let you go. I owe both you and Naruto my love and company. I've been a fool all these years and I am sorry for everything I have done. All the sins I have committed. The things I've done to Naruto and you. Unforgivable. I'm sore. She cut him off and pulled him into a deep tear-filled kiss of intense passion and desire. Their lips parted and their tongues met, tangling with each other in attempts to learn each other's grooves. Years of stress and desired love released in this moment of magical bliss. They were too caught up in their love to notice the pair of bright white eyes peering in from outside. It seemed the Byakugan could see through lies and deceit as well as chakra. The Hyuga heiress clenched her fists as she watched the two make out and begin to strip off. Her teeth tightened in a sneer of pure rage and hatred almost equivalent to an Uchiha. Hinata had seen more than enough. She leapt down from the branch of the tree, impacting on the soft ground without a sound. Her mind was filled with questions and furious tendencies. The always shy, timid and caring Hyuga was now alive with a boiling head of emotions. She ran the park to try cool off her emotions, but it was too much. She drove her fist into a tree and crushed its bark like paper. Filthy deceiving, she screamed out at the night. She took something so special, so important like Naruto's love and tears it up, leaves him broken so she can make out with Sasuke, the criminal. She felt such intense anger towards the two who had no doubt drove Naruto to his death. Tears streamed down her face as she yet again broke down and lay there on the grass crying. She knew she had to tell someone or ask for help, but she had no idea what to do. I'm so lost, without him, my one love, gone. I know that feeling. Hinata. She heard rustling beyond the bushes. A tall, broad man entered the clearing and pulled Hinata to her feet and embraced her. The man smelled of sake and misery, but she accepted the hug nonetheless. She pulled away and stared wide open at the mess that once was Jiraiya. His clothes dirty and tattered, his face unshaven and dirty likewise. Jiraiya-sensei. What are you doing out here? You have been drinking. Just call me Jiraiya, please. I can't bear to be a teacher, not anymore. I've been drinking every night since it happened. I've been looking for answers in these woods, maybe a clue. I just don't know anymore. I lost the closest thing I had to a son. Naruto. Tears streamed down the mon's face as he gave in, yet again. They all say it was an accident that drove him to it. They all usher it off as if it were truly an accident. I refuse to believe it, Jiraiya. Sakura and Sasuke are to blame. I know it. I'll never forgive them. We need to see Tsunade about this. Naruto can't be dead, no. Well, you go. I've tried reasoning with her. She would rather move on than dwell on such a depression event in this village's history. Luck. What about you Jiraiya? What are you going to do? I'm a mess, maybe I'll go shave and visit Naruto's supposed grave, clear my head. I'll meet up with you soon, thank you Hinata. The two separated and Hinata began her sprint towards the Hokage office, hoping for answers and punishment for those who deserved it. Nagato smiled, his student was mastering his chakra extremely well. The two were on a concrete courtyard behind the headquarters of the Akatsuki. Naruto was tasked to bend his wind chakra and rip a small object apart. Nagato was currently using the Diva Path's body, also known as Yahiko, but Naruto just called him Nagato despite this. Konan sat next to him, comforting the Diva Path. Naruto suspected a relationship was going on but he did not want to be rude and ask. Good Naruto. In the Hidden Leaf Village you would have done this activity with a leaf or a piece of paper, but we Akatsuki must surpass the weak, now open your hands and show me your progress. Naruto opened up his hand and grinned at the sheet of metal that his chakra tore in half. The thin sheet of metal was torn right down the middle as if cut by a katana. His chakra was more powerful than it ever had been. Nagato's training was a success. I did it. Thanks sensei. Good, now go get some rest and come back in a couple of hours, we will begin phase 2 sooner than expected, good work. Thanks. Naruto made his way towards the headquarters entrance hatch. Behind him, Konan let out a little giggle as Nagato kissed down her neck. Naruto was glad the Akatsuki weren't all mindless killers, they were just fun killers, and he was one of them now. He walked past a violent game of ping-pong being played between Kisame and Hidan. The game only lasted 3 minutes before Hidan broke the table in anger and Kakuzu took the amount off Hidan's paycheck. Naruto lay down on his bunk and let sleep take him. We need to talk. Naruto Uzumaki. Who? What huh? Naruto opened his eyes expecting to see a Akatsuki member or a Shinigami but instead he opened his eyes to the large chamber which housed the Kyuubi. It had been a long time since the two spoke, it seemed the Kyuubi was up to date on current affairs. I misjudged you Naruto. It seems there is hate in you after all. And you seek the destruction of the leaf, we now finally think alike. I may want the leaf destroyed, but that does not mean we are allies. Fox, you caused all this. It's your fault I was thrown out. You dare blame M. Just because you are a Jinchuriki does not mean you are supposed to be hated, look at Suna. Huh, what about it? Ha 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 it seems I know something you don't. Gaara, the Shikaku-tailed beast, is now the case cage, and the people love him. Why is it that the leaf hate you? Because it's not you or me Naruto. It's them. The hidden cloud also cherishes its Hachibi-tailed beast. Konoha just hates who you are. They deserve our hate. Our hate. Let me help you. No, you got to be lying. They let a Jinchuriki become a cage. But that's not fair, they would never do that for me. This is not fair, why is it always me? Damn it why? We can work together now. I once hated you, but that's because you were an arrogant blind boy who loved his lying village. You were wrong about them this whole time. I was right, in a way Naruto, I have been there for you more than anyone else. Yeah, rest on it. I'll let you dream and you can talk to me about it anytime through our mind. Make the right choice. Let me grant you the power to kill the Uchiha. Naruto liked the sound of that, he liked it a lot. Hinata knocked on the large wooden doors outside the Hokage's main office suite. She was not there for formalities or small talk, she wanted answers and she wanted them now. Come in. It's unlocked. Hinata pushed the door open and walked in, not smiling or acting shy in the least. Tsunade saw this and knew something was up. Shizune sat at another desk doing paperwork regarding the loss of a Jinchuriki and the funeral arrangements and memorial displays. Shizune, give me and Tsunade a minute please. But I have to do paperwork. It's okay Shizune, leave me and Hinata alone for a minute, thanks. Yes. Quote. Shizune closed the door behind her and the room became silent. They could hear the people down on the streets, someone was partying. This made Hinata grew furious and red. Those, heartless, partying after such a event, she gestured viciously out the window, lights and cheers in the downtown districts. Hinata, calm down, the villagers don't know any better, many people don't know of Naruto's death. Tsunade said, shocked. Half of them wanted his death. She shouted, Hinata, this is not like you. And Sasuke Uchiha is one of those people. Hinata, Sasuke once hated Naruto yes, but he escaped captivity, he came to the village seeking refuge and acceptance and Naruto got out of control. That is a load of. Please, understand. Him and Sakura both feel. Tsunade pleaded. Oh please, don't get me started on that. Hinata interrupted. Hinata, that is enough. Tsunade shouted. I saw them. Sakura and Sasuke, making out and as if Naruto was never born. Hinata. Sakura loved Naruto. Tsunade roared, rising from her chair, fists clenched. Quote exclamation mark. She threw away his love for a criminal. Tossed away the one man I wish I. She trailed off, her rage faltering. Hinata. Do you love? Tsunade felt her own anger blunt. She now felt great shame and sympathy for this woman. Yes, damn it, I love Naruto Uzumaki. Tears spilled down her face. Her spirit broke and she sunk to her knees and wept. Quote. I see. I loved him more than Sakura ever pretended. He never noticed me, but that's my fault. If I was more out there and involved, he would truly see. Sakura threw away a golden man, a perfect ninja, like trash, and he'll never forgive her for her sin. Well, what do you want now? What's done is done, Hinata. I know you loved him, but it's over. I want Sasuke gone. Sakura too, not dead, just gone. They have done enough. You know I can't do that to my student. What about Jiraiya-sensei? How do you think he feels about his student, huh? It's all their fault and you would just stand here and make excuses. She screamed. I can't throw people out of the village on suspicion of murder. Sasuke has changed, Hinata. So have I. I'm gone. What? Hinata took her Konoha headband from her pocket and slashed its symbol, her tears spilling down her cheeks as her angry eyes glared at the Hokage, never breaking their stare. Hinata threw down the headband on the desk and sneered. Naruto is alive. I will find him. And I will end this. I'm leaving. Hinata. Tears began to well at the corners of Tsunade's eyes, everything came crashing down around her. I would rather be an outcast, an Uzumaki, than an imprisoned Konoha Hyuga. Goodbye, sensei. If you leave those gates, you will be equal to an Akatsuki member, please. Who do you think I'm going to? No, please. I'm begging you, stay, just don't join them. Please. Don't get in my way. Hinata stepped out the door and grabbed her duffel bag that she had already packed. She was ready to leave the village and begin her search, but first she had two places to stop by before she left. Naruto's house and Naruto's grave. So here we are, Naruto. I wanted you to be the one to bury me, not the other way round. Although we had nothing to bury, it only hurts more. I have lost the will to write. I'm sorry, maybe I'll start writing again, but not now. Your mother and father would be proud of the ninja you became, so much. Page. Potential. Jiraiya's words broke off into fits of sobbing as he mourned his list student. He heard footsteps behind him and recognized Hinata's chakra. He hoped she came bearing good news, knew he could use it. Well, how did it go? I'm leaving the village. I'm sorry, they won't change their mind. How long are you leaving for? Jiraiya. How long? I've slashed out Konoha from my life, the cut is deep in my headband. I can't live in such a village. Oh Hinata. Why would you cut your bond with this village? Because Sasuke and Sakura killed the one man I truly loved. They killed Naruto. My dream gone. Hinata, you love Naruto. More than Sakura ever pretended to. I need to go. Tsunade will try to stop me, please. Don't follow me. Before Jiraiya could reply to Hinata, she vanished from his sight. He felt so helpless and confused. If only Naruto had known about Hinata's love, it would have saved him. He took a deep gulp of sake and made his way towards the Hokage office. Hinata pushed open the door and stepped into Naruto's apartment. It was so large and empty. No family photos. He lived alone and it was very apparent. It made her sick inside knowing he lived a life of such misery. She crossed the room and spotted what she was after, the first Hokage's necklace. One of Naruto's most prized possessions. She slipped it over her head and let the pendant sink down into the space between her. I'm ready to go now. To the Akatsuki. Recruiting for despair. Naruto ducked as a steel sword swiped over his head. It sung through the air and collided with a rock, splitting it in two. The sword was attached to the Asura Path's transforming arm and acted like a fist-mounted blade. The Asura Path was more machine than man and served as Pain's jack of all trades form, being able to shoot rockets to forming buzz saws out of its own hands. Good dodge, now up high. The blade came down on Naruto, but he rolled to the side and stuck his kunai deep into the Asura Path's stomach. Nagato deactivated the path and smiled. If I felt physical pain, that probably would have hurt. Good work, my student. Piece of cake. Nagato. Yes, Naruto. When do I get my first mission, Yano? You seem very eager. Give us a few hours to organize something, but Naruto, you must realize. You are no longer in the Leaf. You are one of us, we kill people for money. We are mercenaries. There is no doubt that a might await us at death. Are you sure you are ready? I'm ready. I'll kill those who are in my way. Nagato smiled and noticed Itachi standing behind both of them, patient but persistent. There was no doubt he had something important to inform Nagato on. I'm sorry to interrupt your training session, Nagato. Scout report is in, another exile for the Hidden Leaf. Wait, what did you say, Itachi? Has someone I knew left the village? Why? Another Leaf ninja has slashed off their mark and has left the village, yes. I don't know who. It's in the report which Nagato must read first before telling. Itachi passed the envelope to Nagato. It was marked with a sealing jutsu which could not be broken by simple force. The right person had to deactivate the jutsu by hand. Nagato bit his thumb and spread the blood along the envelope. A plume of smoke puffed outwards and the mark was gone. He opened it and began reading the report inside. A faint smile flickered across his face. Looks like you aren't quite alone and hated after all, Naruto. Who is it? Hinata Hyuga. She slashed off her Konoha symbol right in front of the Hokage and threw it down on the desk. The report says it was because of a dispute involving you. It seems she never mind. Leave that for later. Why would she do that? Because she loves you. At least I think, that's for you to find out. What's going to happen to her? We can't kill her. Please don't. No. She will join us like you. She made the effort to leave. Therefore she has a rightful place among our organization. Just watch out for Hidan, he is a sleaze around women. She has always been there for me. It only took me until now to realize. I'm such a baka. Nagato turned to Itachi and nodded. Itachi geared up and headed out to the Fire Country to retrieve yet another member. If this was frequent, the Akatsuki would be an army, not an organization. Bring her in, but do not tell her Naruto is alive, okay? Yes, Nagato. It will be done. Hinata adjusted her shoulders and hefted the pack upward, granting her a few new seconds of relief from its heavy contents. She decided to take a rest over by a boulder off a beaten path. She sat and pondered the things she said to Tsunade. It was all racing so fast. She could not believe she left the village, but she was still glad nonetheless. I should not have said I was joining the Akatsuki. I was just being mean. The Akatsuki have tried to kill Naruto multiple times. They are no better than the shinobi back at Konoha. That's right. I'm a renegade ninja now, like Sasuke used to be, alone. She pulled out a map and began to plan her next plan of action. If Naruto was alive, he would not have gone far without help from others, which she doubted alone Jinchuriki would receive so easily. She would search every village and ask if they had seen such a man walk through. I won't stop until I find him. I can't fail him. I won't fail him. Tsunade was halfway through a bottle of sake when the door knocked. It was a hard day and Hinata running off did not ease the stress and sadness in the least. Go away. I'm drinking, she sobbed. That's why I want to come in, he said, sternly. Jiraiya. The one and only. Come in, she sighed. The door opened and Jiraiya walked in. Tsunade could see that he was in a worse state than her. He pulled up a chair and began to drink with Tsunade. Neither of them spoke, until the silence was unbearable to her. What do you want? I'm sorry, okay. I'm so damn sorry I accepted your offer as Hokage. I'm sorry I let him die. I'm sorry Hinata left, it's all my fault and I don't know how it all happened. I'm to blame. No. ... You are not to blame at all. No one in this village are to blame. If this were one of my books the readers would hate everyone in Konoha, but as an author I am saying no. It's not any of our faults. Except those two. Especially Sasuke. You can't honestly think Sakura had to do with any of it. From what I heard it does. Of all people, you should know Naruto's feelings for Sakura. Ever since he began at the academy, she must have taken it as a joke, but the whole time he was serious, just like Hinata's feelings for Naruto. But at least Naruto did not notice Hinata's feelings. If he had noticed, they would be together long ago. Sakura knew his feelings, and she traded him for Sasuke. Jiraiya, the heart wants what it wants. I admit she did it in the worst way possible, but she loves Sasuke. I know all about what the heart wants, Tsunade. All those years with you are no different to those two. Naruto loved Sakura like I loved you, but that's long ago. I'm just an old perv, a pervy sage. But I'm happy being so, or at least I was. What happens now? I'm so lost, she said, face falling into hands. You are right, we can't do anything about Sasuke and Sakura. We can't punish them or wreak vengeance on someone else. Now all we can do is carry on and hope Hinata returns with or without Naruto, as long as she comes back. I don't think she will. Never mind that. Begin the missions again for all Genin, Chunin and Junin. It will push the village back into order, send out some friends to look for Hinata and Naruto. And then we can begin living again. He is dead, Jiraiya. Jiraiya turned fast and threw his glass cup against the wall. It smashed and Tsunade let out a small yelp of shock and shame. Jiraiya fixed his eyes on Tsunade, boiling hot anger and disappointment meted into her emotions. He raised a shaky finger as a lone tear ran down his cheek. You have no right. You have no damned right to say he is dead. I'm sorry. This is Naruto we are talking about here. He survived multiple Kyuubi transformations, poisons, beatings and loses, and he got back up each time. You may have lost hope, but many people have not, Hinata for example. Why is his body gone? We would have found bones. I am going to hold on to this scrap of damned hope. You can leave it if you wish. But not me. I will not bury my child student, never. Where are you going? I'm going to the Hidden Rain. I hope my old shack is still holding up. If not, then I'll have a little project to keep my mind off this village, and its power-monger elders, and most of all, its hubris that is shared among this whole ninja world. The kind of hubris that drives people who are different to suicide. Please, wait. I need you. I can't do this alone. I want you. HMMPH. I've always wanted to hear those words. But I just don't know anymore. As for your advice, Shikaku Nara or Kakashi Hatake would make a fine advisor to this crisis. Stay strong, Tsunade. I certainly can't be. You can't leave, damn it. I should have never brought Naruto back. This village will always reek of superiority. Peace will never be attainable until this village sees a new beginning. He turned and exited the room, not turning his head, not saying a word. A week later, Sasuke awoke in the darkness of a new day. He reassuringly checked the other side of the bed for Sakura. She was gone. He could see the light of the kitchen on down the hallway. He slipped on some pants and buttoned up a white t-shirt draped over the chair. He made his way down the hallways smelling fresh coffee, which was quite puzzling seeing how it was 4 o'clock in the morning. He yawned. Hiya. Sakura, it's late. I mean early, what's up? He saw her tear-streamed face and ran to her side. What's wrong? You can tell me, Sakura. Bad dreams, huh? Yeah, they won't go away. I felt good and bad when we made love last week. It was so right, but too soon. I'm sorry. I'm a mess. You are mourning, it's fine, we all are, even me. Are you just saying that to make me feel better? Sakura, I'm tired of classified information. You tell me right now. Why did you actually come back? She can't know my true intentions, not yet. I have to tell her part of the truth. I owe her that much. Well, I came back because I'm weak. I can't beat Itachi, there is no use in fighting him, he is the strongest Uchiha alive. I'm tired of giving up my friends and losing more and more of my humanity, so I came back. And truly, me and Naruto did fight. The Kyuubi just. It's fine. I'm sorry I had to ask you. I'm just so damned lost. I can't make sense of it all. She broke down in tears yet again. Many people would think otherwise, but Naruto's death tore her apart inside. Look. It's fine. I'm here. And Naruto is watching us with that big old smile. Ya know. They both smiled at Naruto's usual catchphrase. It lightened the mood proportionately. Genuine smiles filled the room which had seemed so dark since the week prior. She giggled hard and pointed at Sasuke. What? Calm down, Sasuke. Women can't be angry all the time. What do you mean? I'm a Uchiha male. I am customarily a strong man. Ha 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 ha, do strong Uchiha men wear women's blouses? Haha. Sasuke looked down and realized he had buttoned up the wrong t-shirt. What looked white in the dark was bright pink in the light of the kitchen. He also failed to notice the decorative flowers adorned along the sleeves. Quote. Itachi had spent the last 2 days spying and measuring the skills of the young Hyuga. Her search led her near the Hidden Rain village. Although she had no luck in finding any clues, it seemed she was just wandering for hope. Itachi observed her impressive medical skills and extraordinary Byakugan abilities. Her taijutsu was also far advanced compared to some of the Akatsuki members. She would fill her place easily. He just needed to pick the right time and place to recruit her. If only he could tell her Naruto is alive, she would join in an instant, beside her personal beliefs on the Akatsuki. Who is there? I know you have been watching me. I may be an ex-Konoha shinobi. But my Byakugan is as sharp as ever. Damn it, she finally noticed me. The Byakugan is powerful indeed. Show yourself or leave. I have more important things to attend to. Itachi emerged from the tree line and leaned on a tree, looking as relaxed as Shikamaru on a lazy day. Oh. By the looks of it. You seem to be wandering the lands in search of answers. Itachi Uchiha. So what is a royal Hyuga heiress doing so far from the village, without bodyguards, or even friends for that matter? Itachi pretended to not know her reason, which would help shield any suspicion of the Akatsuki and Naruto being involved. It was best she know nothing before she joins, or she might join just for Naruto's sake. That is none of your business. Especially for a traitor like you. Well now, I don't see any Konoha headband or any Konoha mission gear. Unless you are on vacation in the Hidden Rain, I would say you are no different to me. What do you want? Do you wish to kill me, is that it? No, not really. The Akatsuki are mercenaries with a personal mission, neither involves you. However, if I were my colleague Kakuzu, you would make a fine ransom. But I care very little for money, so let me be forward. About what? Join us. You were kicked out of your village. You are a fellow traitor. If you need something done, join us and achieve that goal. We will help you on your way, and if you like it, stay with us. We can't force you to stay with us and cooperate. It would never work like that. Whatever or whoever you are looking for, we have the resources to help you. What do you think? I will not join you. Why would I join a gang of mercenaries? I'm out here for a reason. What reason is that? If you don't tell me now, I can just abduct a Konoha shinobi and torture them until they sing every little thing that has happened in the leaf. Would you like that? No, leave everyone else out of it. Then talk. What is it you want, Ms. Hyuga? I want to find Naruto. He went missing. Presumed dead. Attempted suicide. Because of your brother. I'm not surprised, those two were like water on oil since the beginning, so he's dead, huh? A shame, we could have used his body. You mean, you have not heard of this yet? We knew some kind of civil unrest went down, but the village has been so locked up we have had no spies able to investigate. I still refuse your offer. This is my burden and mine alone. You Akatsuki don't seem so bad now that I'm out of the village and neutral. The village always indulged in hubris. I will find Naruto. Without your help, so be it. I will be in the Hidden Rain village. I'll know if you are there. The offer is always open. I suggest you go down the road and take a left. Follow the beaten road until you reach an open field next to a river. There you will find an old shack with someone who will help you. They are ex-Leaf as well. I'm sure you won't mind working with them. They were a sensei after all. What? Who? Itachi vanished before she could receive her answers. She just figured the only way to know would be to go there in person and take it on first hand. She readjusted her pack and pondered the idea of joining the Akatsuki as she traveled down the road towards the shack. Her focus was Naruto, but she knew the resources would be helpful, even if she is just using them. Surely there is a catch. She spotted the shack ahead. It was made of fine-cut wood and stone. It looked more like a lodge than it did a shack. It looked like it was under reconstruction. She could spot the scaffolding and tools surrounding the building. She also noticed a man up on the roof, nailing down shingles. He looked like Santa Claus from this distance, which made her giggle. Hello. The man threw up his hammer in surprise and it landed on his head. He groaned and slid off the roof and landed on a pile of sake, girly magazines and food supplies yet to be stocked inside. He mumbled as imaginative birds tweeted around his head. He opened his eyes and gasped. Hinata. Jiraiya sensei. Evidence. The man threw up his hammer in surprise and it landed on his head. He groaned and slid off the roof and landed on a pile of sake, girly magazines and food supplies yet to be stocked inside. He mumbled as imaginative birds tweeted around his head. He opened his eyes and gasped. Hinata. Jiraiya-sensei. What on earth are doing here? I know you left the village, but the Hidden Rain would be the last place I would expect to see you. We need to talk. Lucky enough, I'm done the last of the renovations. Do you think you can help me bring in the supplies? Yeah, sure. She carried boxes of food and equipment into the house and set it on the counter. Jiraiya pulled out a chair for her and the two sat at the table. He shakily poured 2 cups of tea and sat back with a heavy sigh of relief. I have hundreds of questions to ask you, but you go first. I can see it is the same for you. What are you doing here? What is this place? This place was an old home of mine. I spent 3 years here training some Hidden Rain war orphans who needed my help. They were starved and weak, so I took them in. Those were some of the happiest days of my life. What am I doing here? Well, not living in the leaf, that's for sure. I just can't look at it the same way anymore. It's not the village it used to be. It's not Tsunade's fault. Far from it. I feel she is caught up between the elders and the people. How about you? Well, they refused to believe Sasuke and Sakura had something to do with Naruto's death. They want to bury it so quickly. They forbid me to further investigate, so I cut my ties with the village. I guess that makes 2 of us. So, forgive me for asking, but this house, it is. Quote. Ha ha ha, it's okay Hinata. Stay here for as long as you like. We both are missing a true home. There's a spare room over there. My old student Konan liked her teenage privacy as well, so long ago Thank you Jiraiya-sensei. Don't call me that. Now that I have left the village I'm just a pervy old sage. Hinata. Yes. Jiraiya looked solemn for a second. He wondered how Hinata had found him. Surely it was not a coincidence. Any passerby would ignore such a beat-up shack and head towards the main city. How did you find me? You said we needed to talk, so I am guessing my answer will come from such a conversation. Yes, well, I was shown to here, given directions and advice. Really? By who? His brows furrowed in confusion and deep thought. Itachi Uchiha, member of the Akatsuki, he told me to find you. He wanted me to join. Join the Akatsuki, right? How did? I was asked the same thing, but by a plant-like creature, who also wore the Akatsuki cloak. It seems they want all the ex-Konoha ninja they can get. I turned them down. I know they wanted to abduct Naruto and kill him for his tailed beast. I don't know if they are trustworthy. Even the Hidden Leaf wanted to use Naruto as a weapon. No one is good now. Did you discover anything new about Naruto's location? No. Nothing. Well, it's a small lead, but I think it's just something a wolf or bear has left behind. What was it? Jiraiya crossed the room to a small wooden box. He flipped the lock open and pulled a tiny thin transparent piece of glass, but when Hinata looked closer, it became all the more clear. Is that a scale, from a fish of some kind? That's where we found his headband and some blood. I don't even know what species of fish it is, or even if it is fish. I could be vital. I'm going to have it examined and identified, but I can't have it examined by any civilian or scientist. It could be risky. Both Akatsuki and Leaf spies are everywhere. Then what will we do? Hope diminishing from her face. I know someone who can identify it. You aren't going to like it, but I'm no longer a part of the Leaf, so. Who? Hate to say it. Orochimaru is our only hope. Naruto perched on the rooftops opposite Hidden Stone Village's police department. His long black cloak flowing behind him. He was invisible in the night. Someone who saw him would only barely make out the red cloud that adorned his new apparel. He read through his mission report and tucked the envelope back into his cloak. He pulled a long rope dart from his kit and spun it at a propeller pace. He flung it forward and it collided with the open window and pinned itself on the stone wall. He looped off the loose end to a chimney and secured it tight. The report said it must be an assassination, not a slaughtering. This meant complete stealth and no raised alarms until the target was killed. Police Chief Araki of the Hidden Stone contained documents on defenses, training routines and top intel on the other countries that the Akatsuki needed. The Akatsuki also wanted Chief Araki killed so that his deputy Tsurami, a Hidden Rain spy, would infiltrate their ranks and make huge decisions. Naruto's objective was simple: kill the chief and get the documents. Not bad for a first mission. Deployment set, he mouthed into a chakra mic. He clipped a wheel handle onto the rope and slid down it towards the open window at high speeds. He could not have jumped the distance without being noticed. The rope dart was crucial in deploying into the station. Stone Ninja patrolled under him as he slid to the railing and hopped in the open window. I have entered the building. He drew his kunai and made his way from room to room searching for important documents and the chief of police, who was supposed to be working late tonight, according to Deputy Surami. Naruto would feel no remorse for his kill. If he was to kill Sasuke, he had to be cold. He clenched his fist hard at the thought of that treacherous Uchiha. He rounded the corner and saw the chief at his desk. He looked like the Hokage with all that paperwork. No one was in the office, it seemed. The whole station was either out on duty or in the lower levels. He snuck behind the chief and watched him work. Then he composed himself and placed his kunai to the chief's throat, picking him up and whispering into his ear with murderous intent. Scream or shout and I'll spill your blood all over that picture of your family. Cooperate and live to see your kids get married and have their own kids. What do you say? Oh, okay, please. Don't kill me. Where are the Iwagakure report defense files? All the intel you were told to safeguard, lead me to it. Why? Yes, this way. He led Naruto to a wall safe. He placed his hand to his sealing jutsu and deactivated it. He opened the steel door and pulled a vanilla envelope and passed it to Naruto. He checked inside and confirmed that it was the correct files needed. He tucked them into his cloak and tensed. Now came the dirty work. Please, I won't tell. Just don't. You know I came after the files, right? I can't let you tell anyone else. You will watch your kids grow up, from the afterlife. No. Naruto slit the mon's throat and set him down on the floor. As planned, he placed the kunai in his hands and pulled a tattered hidden cloud headband from his kit and placed it in the other hand, so that it looked like he tried to fight a cloud ninja and was killed in the process. No one would know it was the Akatsuki. Mission accomplished. The door burst open and Naruto ducked behind the desk as shuriken and kunai nailed the walls. Naruto flung his kunai and pinned a man dead in the forehead, bringing him to his knees in an arterial spray of blood. Naruto drew a wakizashi dagger and separated the two guards' head with one clean Kyuubi-powered slice. Their heads toppled to the floor and lay there, eyes bulged. He could hear more ninja running up the stairway. He turned to the rope dart in the wall and ran across it like a circus rope. He severed it when he arrived on the opposite rooftops and made his way to the extraction point outside the village. Great job, Naruto. A+, he. Thanks, Toby, your stealth advice worked like a charm. Ooh, I'm like your senpai and you're my little student, hehe. Sorry. Nagato is my only sensei now, let's get going. Yada. Toby and Naruto made their way back to the Hidden Rain village to report their success. Naruto got to know Toby better along the way, but he was still a mysterious figure, more so than the other members. That is, until he comes across a dumpling shop. Sasuke raised the cup of sake to his lips and felt the instant relief wash away his troubles, for the time being anyway. They all felt it washed away as each man took a deep gulp of the white elixir they had been denied all their life. They were all at Shino's house. His parents were out of the village on both a mission and a wedding anniversary. Shikamaru took the time to organize a memorial dinner and goodwill get-together for the guys. Surprisingly, Sasuke was invited with open arms, much to his surprise. Shikamaru coughed to make his presence known. A toast to Naruto Uzumaki, a reckless friend and a great ninja, who always brought smiles, laughter and determination to whatever mission he went on. Always making friends wherever he went, and bringing many back home with him. Shikamaru stared at Sasuke intently. It was Choji who had invited Naruto, not Shikamaru himself, he continued. He was never one to be depressed, never one to cry. He was always a happy man, surrounded by the people he loves. I would hope that he died with a smile. However, he died. The room went silent, tension was thick and unbearable. Sasuke felt the hostility sink into him. This hostility only came from Shikamaru. The Nara's eyes burned into Sasuke's supposed innocence. The mind of a tactician was at play here. To Naruto. To Naruto. They echoed. The men sculled back their drinks and belched in unison. They all laughed, even Shikamaru and Sasuke grinned. It's how Naruto would have wanted it to be, if he were actually dead. They all sat back and ate piles of food and laughed and joked around as guys should, their own personal mourning and anguish washing away with the day's end. Shikamaru remained in his cold state until everyone was heading home. They all grabbed their coats and made their goodbyes. Sasuke. Shikamaru put on a fake smile. Yeah, could you help me take out this trash bag? These guys ate like pigs. What did you call me? Not you, Choji. Oh, okay. Sasuke nodded and headed inside to help Shikamaru pack up. As soon as the group were out of sight on walking towards the distant sunset, Shikamaru grabbed Sasuke by the collars and slammed him against the wall. Harsh venom pulled through Shikamaru blood. What the did you do? What? Nothing. Everything is fine. Then you turn up and Naruto becomes depressed and kills himself. Don't bull me, you are still a traitor to me. I can't let you go about the village thinking you are hot stuff. Naruto died for your place in this village. Don't it up. I did not do anything. Naruto. Sakura, she broke up with him for me, okay. Not many people know, she dumped him for me, he took it the wrong way and went downhill from there. I tried my best to reason, something I never listened to myself, but just don't up this chance you are being given. So we are fine. I have my doubts. But yeah, it would be a drag to be angry forever. He patted his back and sent him on his way. Are you sure you don't want help? Nah, as annoying as it is. I like doing the hard work, helps clear my mind. Goodbye, Sasuke. Bye. The two approached the darkly lit cave entrance. It looked abandoned and almost natural in appearance. Any passers-by would think of it as a normal rock formation, which is what Orochimaru wanted them all to think. Jiraiya, however, was attuned to his former friend's techniques. All they needed to do now was to make contact, without dying. Here we are, there is a great chance he won't be here. He has hideouts all over the 5 countries, he is dug in good. So what now? Now, we go inside. They heard a deep slithering sound coming from the cave. A faint shadow began to take form. Hinata stiffened and went to draw out her kunai at the oncoming mystery. Jiraiya put out his hand to slow her. The slithering became louder, then began to undergo changes. The slithering morphed into the sound of footsteps. They could see a faint smile coming out to meet them. He was here. Oh, by all means, come in. But please wipe your feet off at the door. Would not want any mud in my laboratories. Orochimaru. Long time no see, Jiraiya. I've heard many interesting things over the last week. Kabuto has been oh so busy. His face softened and became almost sympathetic. I am truly sorry for your loss, despite past feuds. A student is supposed to bury his master. Unless he becomes immortal, that is. To think I would hear sympathy from you. He sighed, you humans and your emotions. We came here for a reason, not to catch up on old times. Of course, where are my manners? Come in. He led the two down a long corridor and into a large laboratory space. Large cushioned sofas sat alongside great study tables of reptiles, insects, chakra and even human organs. Such would be expected of Orochimaru, however. Also typically, Orochimaru sat himself on a great snake-like throne and crossed his legs in a relaxed royalty posture. So then, what can I do for you two? You certainly aren't here to kill or capture me, or you would have made a move. Hinata spoke up, as much as I hate it. We need you to identify a piece of evidence we found. What kind of evidence are we talking about here? What's this all for? Jiraiya gestured for her to be silent. He had to be the one to break the news, only he could handle Orochimaru. Naruto is dead, possibly just missing. The village is in disarray. It was supposedly a suicide. He could not handle the villagers' taunts and the stress of being a Jinchuriki. I see, yes, Kabuto reported such news. Yes, like I said earlier, you have my condolences, so what evidence have you brought me? This here. It's some kind of fish scale. We don't know what species of fish it is. It could be a clue, or it could be trash. He passed the box to Orochimaru. He opened it and marveled at the pale blue scale. He flicked a scalpel out of his pocket and cut off a sample. Hinata could see chakra leaking out of the wound instead of blood. She found it very curious indeed. Orochimaru placed it on a slide and added a drop of iodine before placing the slit into a very intricate machine, more than just a microscope. He gazed into its sights and grew stiff. He had seen it before. This is a shark scale, not just any shark, however. How do I put this? It's from a sword. Okay, now I'm lost. Like usual, Orochimaru, you never cease to make sense. I guess that's where our friendship went wrong, old friend. No. You killed Shinobi for forbidden jutsu, don't compare the two. I'm curious, why not use the microscope at Konoha? Your village is far better equipped than I am. We are Rouge. We cut our bonds to Konoha. Hinata gasped. She thought Jiraiya had only left Konoha for a small while, just to mourn, nothing permanent like herself. Jiraiya-sensei. I thought. Jiraiya grabbed something from his pouch and dropped it on the table with a loud clang. Hinata gazed, awestruck at the scratched Sannin headband that so many men had dreamed of earning. Its Konoha symbol slashed with a kunai after his confrontation with Tsunade. Oh Jiraiya my friend, how is Tsunade taking it? You know how she is, she can handle it. So what drove you to do it? If I tell you, can you jump to the point? Certainly. We were tired of their methods. They refused to investigate Naruto's death, they refused to blame anyone, and they made Naruto's death seem like an accident, as if his depression was not aimed at anyone in particular. I will not live in a village where their hubris drives young men to depression because they are different, that's all. Oh my. So the leaf really is falling apart. I can't say I am surprised thou. You know I was right, don't you? Yes, I know you were right. Good, now as for this scale you brought me. It's from a sword, however the sword is alive as if it were an animal, thus the scale was shed from it. Then whose sword was it? One of the 7 hidden mist legendary swordsmen, only one of them has a sword like this however. Kisame. They gasped, his name was familiar. Jiraiya had encountered him with Naruto and Sasuke in a small town outside Konoha. Who is that? Hinata was puzzled. Kisame is a member of the Akatsuki. Oh, the Akatsuki. Does that mean? Orochimaru poured himself a glass of blood-red wine, at least they hoped it was wine. He grinned at the two and licked his lips in anticipation. He raised his hand for a chance to speak, it seemed he had vital information they needed. The Akatsuki was using Jinchuriki for rituals. I was a member for a few months. If Naruto is alive, then he is already harvested, used for his spirit or chakra. I'm sorry. Wait, so he did not kill himself? No, he did commit suicide, or he did not die from it. There is blood on this scale. The blood is older than the scale, about 2 to 3 days or more. What's that supposed to mean? It means the scale was shed when they found him. The scale fell in his crusted blood. If the blood was already 3 days old, that means he was lying there conscious for 3 days, and no one ever found him. Hinata let out a small whimper, tears began to stream down her face. Her sorrow intensified, she cried out. That means if he was alive and waiting there for 3 days. He could have been waiting for someone to rescue him, he could have felt bad for what he did, but no one ever came. No one came for him. What are you saying, that if he is still alive, he must hate the village, he must hate everyone. He must think no one cared about him enough to look for him, he has probably cursed the entire village in his depressed sorrow. He is dead. If the Akatsuki found him, he is already dead. Jiraiya grew teary as well, this would always be a touchy subject. Orochimaru seemed to be annoyed at the use of emotions, he only sat back and enjoyed his drink. Should we go back to the village, Hinata? We can tell them what happened. No. What? Why? Because the village never sent anyone else to look for him, people searched on their own accord. No damned actions were taken, I want nothing to do with that village. Hinata, okay, so now what? We go and get Naruto's body back. We owe him that much, the world has done nothing for him. Let's get to work. Closer to the truth. Let's get to work. Yes, Jiraiya. Orochimaru grinned at the two, his glass half empty and his lips slightly stained by its juices. It was clear now that it was no ordinary drink, more like a once-drained vital liquid which allows humans to live and carry oxygen to vital organs, if you catch his drift. It seemed he was not yet finished with the two. He pulled a scroll from a nearby shelf and laid it on the table, his grin far more menacing. I think my help will be needed then, but, for a price that is. It never is easy with you, huh? What do you want? If you are thinking Ryo or goods, you would be mistaken, my dear friend. My proposition is far elegant. What's in the scroll first of all? The Akatsuki's HQ location and other outposts run by Akatsuki loyalists, to find Naruto's remains and complete your vengeance on the desecration they have done to him, of course. So, what is it you really want? Jutsu. Test subjects. No, you mistake me for, well, okay, yes, that is like me. No, in fact, you and Ms. Hyuga here. Join me. Join you. Hinata already had a bad taste in her mouth from such unbelievable words. Yes indeed. I'll supply you with resources and information to complete your mission. Quote. This seems edgy, what are you getting from it Orochimaru, what benefits you? You give me information on one of my long-lost friends, his savage grin looked sinister. And who might that be? Oh ha ha ha, you know him. He is the one who did this to your beloved student after all. Sasuke, you want the Uchiha him. His body is very dear to me and holds many secrets after all. It's also benefiting you now that I think of it. Hinata, what do you think? I know you kids have not had good encounters with him. Hinata took a deep breath and pondered over it for a long time. Her decisions forming and breaking in her head as she tried to grasp hold of the right decision, she eventually came to it. She stood up and breathed in deep, then bowed to Orochimaru. As much as she hated it. Please Orochimaru, help us, help you. Hinata, you. Jiraiya was surprised, she turned to him. He was right, even you agreed. He has been right about the village since the beginning, his experimentation with jutsu is no different from the weapon development the Jinchuriki have to undergo. He is our only hope. And to be honest, I don't see him as much a threat as I see the village. I see. Well then, looks like we are comrades again friend. Jiraiya shook hands with his long-lost friend, both grinned in anticipation to get working. Orochimaru sent them back to their house to pick up their things and return to their more suspicious permanent residence. Naruto and Tobi walked through the steel-framed door to hear sounds of laughter and maniac screams of violence. It sounded like a party and a death match it seemed. Naruto could smell food and tobacco in the air and he went in need for both. Lately the stress had led Naruto to the occasional cigarette, he was not addicted but he liked the calming sensation it brought him. More wild laughter and screams greeted them ahead. Yup, I'm home all right. Ooh sounds like a party. For Meee. They walked into the main common room to open applause and relaxed stares from the gathered Akatsuki members. Sasori was picking away at a guitar to set a better mood, not surprisingly he mastered it as if its strings were one of his very own puppets. Much to Naruto's amusement he saw an actual puppet face carved into the head of the guitar, each string wrapped around the face's 6 piercings, it was a crude-looking Yahiko guitar. He strummed and picked away at a very rock grunge-inspired song. It only dramatized the performance happening on the table next to him. Hidan and Deidara were dueling yet again, swears and screams sounded as they tried so desperately to kill each other. Despite the horrific theme of it, both of them were laughing and grinning furiously. Their battles brought closer understanding of each other, even though they hated each other's guts. Kakuzu held a large barrel of liquor in the air, guzzling it down as if it were a small cup of water. It seemed immortality had its alcoholic benefits. Kisame only cheered him on, ripping a large chunk out of a raw fish with his bared teeth and throwing the rest to Samahata who caught it and snacked it down faster than lightning. Zetsu was drinking a weird green liquid substance, it looked more like a syrup-like sap than it did alcohol. Across the venue, Itachi sat with Nagato and Konan. The three, who were usually serious and composed, were all smiling and watching the events occur around them. Each of them had a cup of sake, but it looked like they were not very interested in drinking their fill. They turned to see Naruto and Tobi approach, they began to applaud as well. Perfect result Naruto. Outstanding job, Nagato was very pleased with the result. Well, it's no big deal. At Konoha I would just get a pat on the back and my pay. Hidan snickered, you're in the big game now man. Those treat you like a lap. You have not seen the newspaper have you Naruto? No, all I've seen was about a dozen different dumpling menus. Here. Nagato flicked the newspaper on the table in front of him. The newspaper read, The Hidden Rain Bulletin, September 20th. Headline News. / Hidden Stone Village attacked overnight, hidden cloud evidence found. Last night, the Hidden Stone Police Department was attacked in a late-night espionage, suspected hidden cloud operation. The police department night staff were all killed except those in the lower levels, among the dead was the chief of police himself. His deputy is to be promoted this week in this desperate time. Important files were also taken from the chief's strong safe, which was broken into by the chief himself, possible traitor is unknown. Next to the chief's body was a hidden cloud ninja headband which the chief desperately fought to acquire in his last moments of life. The hidden cloud has denied all accusations about the operation and the Raikage has requested the hidden stone forces back off their border. The Tsuchikage has refused to back down however, until the issue is resolved. More information will be available next issue. Naruto grinned. So I did do good huh? A toast. For Naruto Uzumaki. Our newest member, on his first successful mission with the organization, may his blades never dull. Kanpai. They all echoed, and the festivities resumed. Toby walked off to the dumpling platter, picked only one off and left the room. It was out of character for a guy like that, very curious indeed. Naruto was gestured to join Nagato, Konan and Itachi. He sat and was greeted by a bowl of ramen. It was way too familiar to be any other kind of ramen. How? It's Ichiraku. Oh that haha. Zetsu can disguise himself as other shinobi and even replicate their voice patterns. He bought a bowl and phased back to the hidden rain. We know you like it so, there you go. It will be a shame destroying the old Mont's shop when we do. If it means that much to you, we can relocate him and his daughter and place his shop somewhere in the hidden rain. He will make twice the amount of money and will still be alive. How about that? That's amazing. Thank you. No problem. We are probably related as well. That reminds me, can we talk alone? Good idea. Hey Itachi. The Uchiha looked up from his sake. He was slightly blushing as it took effect. Why? Yes. You look bored. Konan. Yes and nah. Gato. She was well and truly tipsy herself. When allowed, Konan loved to party and have fun. It brought a happier side to the organization to have happy people. They were all killers true, but they enjoyed it as well. Go help Itachi with his dancing skills. Or vice versa ha ha ha. Konan stood and shook off her coat to reveal a much more slimming top and jeans which simply screamed out her obvious curves. She giggled and dragged Itachi out to the dance floor. He danced awkwardly at first. He had not danced since he was in high last days of the academy when he used to karaoke with his girlfriends. Soon he was dancing like a stylish loon. Everyone laughed, weirdly enough, even Zetsu laughed. What do you want to talk about? When this is over, I want you to help me. You know I will. What with? The restoration of the Uzumaki clan. We just need to gather the scattered members and build a complex right. Basically, it will work yes, of course the bloodline won't be as pure, being. There very few Uzumakis. Females especially. Who else is there? To be honest I only know of one more member. Karen Uzumaki, she does not use her last name however. Karen. She used to be a team member with Sasuke before he ditched them and left, for Konoha. So she's an Uzumaki. If you two had children the bloodline could be pure again. No. The bloodline will never be pure again. Our clan members are sparse. If 3 couples have Uzumaki children it will speed up the growth of the clan. We can't risk losing our numbers. You mentioned 3 couples. Where are you going with this? Naruto grinned. Well first of all, I will find Hinata and make her my wife. I have thought it over. Nagato. I love her. I just never realized it until I lost her. All that wasted time with Sakura. She was always there, even when I got back to the village. I don't know if she hates me or not. If she hates me I'll move along and never marry, but I think she is the one. I see. Be aware. Love leads to sacrifice, which lets you know pain. I'm happy for you either way. Thanks. I hope she understands. Now hang on, you said 3 couples. Ha 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 yeah. Me and Hinata. Karen and her man. You and Konan. He turned bright red. Oh well you see, what am I trying to deny? My pain would be too immense if I lost her. He gazed over at her dancing figure. Itachi had already passed out and was still on the ground. She continued dancing despite. Her smile wide and her blue bangs rocked back to expose her doll-like face. It was perfect, without a blemish or freckle. Her pearl-like piercing reflected the perfect shade of blue, her hair cast down, her hips swaying and rocking to the music. Her perfect flower that shined every day she fastened it to her hair. Her chest and bouncing with every angelic leap from dance to dance. Her dance was a trance to all men who watched. She turned and blew a kiss to Nagato. He knew it was for him and him alone. She loved him more than he loved himself. Well then, to the Uzumaki clan my friend. They both slammed sake glasses and toasted the clan to return. Many people think mercenaries is evil, selfish, boring and greedy. For many this may be true, but that does not mean they all lack emotions or the enjoyment of a simple glass of sake. They enjoy music and dancing as much as any school girl. They are just normal people with more money, more time to kill and more people to kill in the time given. Evil savors its own enjoyment for when it's in its own home surrounded by its own subordinates. Naruto was home at last. Sasuke keyed the door open and stumbled inside. The sake had taken effect on him as well. In the end he had more than enough sake from Shikamaru's private stash. He clumsily hung his coat on the hanger and walked into the living room. Sakura giggled and came to him, embracing him in a deep hug and whispering into his ear. Had enough to drink, big boy. Ha ha yap. Shika's house was fun. Hic. Yup. Geez, you're a funny old mess, huh? You're beautiful. Oh, you and your sweet talk. She led him to the couch and let him lie back on her, his head cradled against her. Despite his drunk attitude, he was eager to please her. She deserved to be treated the best she could. He felt so bad every day. If this were a movie or a novel, he would hope to the reader not think of his as a villain. Sakura too. It was all a misunderstanding wrapped in his own lies. He hated Naruto, but that was before he lost him and never received his Mangekyo Sharingan. It hit him hard. How was your day, Sakura? You really wanna know? ? Quote. She stroked his hair instinctively and played with his hair as she talked. Yes, please. I wanna know. Well, today I went shopping. Tried to organize a girls' night out. Can I come? Ha baka. I tried to organize it anyway. A few of the girls are out of the village. Oh really? Yup. Tenten is out on a supply run for the Konoha blacksmith, her part-time job. Ino is coming back with her dad from clan business. Hinata, well. She told me not to worry. She told both me she was sent on a deep cover mission which could last months. But I don't know if she was telling the truth. It seemed like a lie, but I doubt it. I'll have to organize it without her, sadly. I really gotta get out more. You are so pretty, Sakura, like cherry blossoms. Wait, that's what your name is supposed to mean. I see. You really are sweet, listening to my day to make me feel good. But you are a really strange drunk, Sasuke. She slid out from under him and headed towards the kitchen to fix up a meal. Sakura, I love you so much. I love you so much for always loving me. She spun and jumped on him. All the air escaped his lungs as he laughed. She smiled happily. She covered his face in her kisses. There you go with your sweet talking, damned Uchiha. Naruto sat back and belched. He had his fair share of ramen for the night. Nagato rang a bell and everyone quieted down, except Itachi, who was well and truly passed out. They all looked intently at their leader, who had a new activity planned for the group. Naruto, you have completed your first mission. We all consider you a member gladly. However, to be an official member you must pass the test and completely cut the bond between you and your village. Here is how it is done. He clapped and one of his paths of pain wheeled a chair into the room. Strapped into the chair was a Konoha shinobi with a dark bag over his head. They appeared to be gagged or sedated. Nagato passed a kunai to Naruto and nodded. Cut this ninja's throat. His throat is your diminished tie to the village. Once it's cut there is no going back. His death is your death in the village. I'm already dead. He clutched the kunai and slashed the ninja's throat. Warm blood poured down his vest as the kunai cut the arteries and jugular. The moment of truth had come. They all applauded and whooped as he permanently chose his side in the world, the Akatsuki. He was curious, however. The chakra was familiar. He looked questioningly at Nagato, who nodded in agreement. Naruto grasped the black bat and pulled it up off the dying shinobi's head. Through fogged sunglasses, the face of Ebisu-sensei gaped in horror at his murderer. Naruto Uzumaki was alive and with the Akatsuki. His neck bathed in blood, one of his lenses broken and his head tattered and crooked. Ebisu looked like he went through only to arrive in a worse state of. He tried to scream out at Naruto. What the are you doing here? I'm going to die. I'm sorry, Konohamaru. You're the only worthy Hokage now. Naruto's eyes widened and his fists clenched. He had been surprised deeply. He had just cut the throat of Ebisu-sensei, the teacher of Konohamaru, his smaller friend. Ebisu only stared shocked at Naruto. He was not surprised. He was seeing a dead man. Naruto was unsure of his actions now. He would destroy the leaf, but he was not ready for such a shock yet. Do you know him? Naruto thought long and hard. Ebisu hoped Naruto would change his mind and save him. Maybe Naruto would kill everyone in the room and heal Ebisu's wound and return to Konoha a hero. Ebisu knew Naruto would never turn to hatred and darkness for his goals. Naruto was going to be Hokage and the village would love him. Ebisu knew this was all a act. In a matter of seconds he would help him and get him back to the village without any issues. Naruto was a friend after all. Nope. Just more Konoha trash. Naruto swung his kunai again with enough force to separate Ebisu's head from his body. The head spun off and hit the ground with a wet smack. Hidan fell to the ground laughing. Naruto grinned and licked the beads of blood off his lips. Then it is settle I Naruto. The village will burn and bleed. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more contents like this and hit the notification bell so you never miss an upload. See you next time.